Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, TWP. I'm just waiting for some people to get notified because I didn't set my thumbnail. But I said, let me go live. But I feel like I got hit by a truck. um, like a hangover, but it's definitely not a hangover because I haven't been drinking anything. Good morning, Sam. But if that hangover feeling, I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but definitely there's been no alcohol. So that's not even a possibility. But let's chit chat about nothing. Nothing really per se, but we can always find something to talk about. Good morning, badass. Good morning, Miss Shirley. Good morning, Tammy. Um, so yeah, I'm feeling, I don't know, my head just feels a little cloudy. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that. Like you're awake, you're not tired, you had enough sleep. Good morning, Cece. But you just feel this cloudy feeling. I don't know if it's my eyes or what. It's just a weird feeling. But other than that, God is good. No complaints. Just maybe I need to have some more ginger. So today I'm having juice. It's looks lime green, but it's greens. Last night I was up late. I was watching Carbon's live, the end of the 12 Days of Christmas, which was 15 days of Christmas, seemed like, which was great. But I had promised to do something. Let me drop the link too before I forget. I promised to do something. I have a family member who, unfortunately, during the last, I guess, no, last 2 months, maybe less than 2 months, is having some health issues, and it's been diagnosed as now cancer. So she was in the hospital. She's home now, and now they're gonna start treatment. Basically, they asked her to go home. She wasn't going home. The kids had to go there. Her kids are my age, adult kids, and talk to the doctors and nurses because she wasn't really. I don't know if you guys know, like you get older people and they don't reiterate the information accurately. Um, so the nurse was saying basically they're not pushing her out, like not giving her care. They don't want her in the hospital because if she's gonna take treatment, all the germs, it ain't no joke. Like she needs to be home in a clean, sanitary environment with the same people, not all these different people coming in and out. She was sharing a room with somebody else. The long and the short of it is that I promised to send her juices and to try to get her body built back up before she starts the treatments. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know nothing about medicine, but I know about the power of food and health and wellness and that it can improve your life. So she she's home now. I gave her juices already, but they're obviously those are finished. She doesn't have an appetite right now, so they asked for more juice. So haven't had a chance to do it yet. Yesterday, she basically sent a message. Morning, Carbon. Sent a message. Hey, Miss Patty. I think I missed you. You know, she wants the juices. So last night I'm juicing during Carbon's live juicing. My sister came by, helped me juice. I have to wear gloves when I'm juicing. I'm at that age where literally the fruit was burning my hands. The pine like burning my hands. Sidebar. So she was helping me with the juicing. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't have any room in my fridge. I don't have an extra fridge. I don't have any. So I said, let me just drop them off and done. So 9:30 at night, I'm driving over. We called there, disturbed her a bit, but apologetic, but she understood. Like, get the stuff in the freezer. Um, her daughter lives downstairs and in the fridge so that she can have them fresh. So that's done. I have another tray of jars here for her to make, so I'll make them in the week. And my sister has 2 cases of jars for them, so between the two of us, so she's doing that right now. But yeah, so I feel like I was hit by a truck because I meant to go to sleep early, but I didn't. But it's okay. Sometimes you got to do something for other people. It's not always about yourself, right? Good morning, Tamika. So I'm glad that she has that. I saw a medical show once where there was an actual problem where a person's body was producing alcohol. What? The person wasn't a drinker and they found alcohol in their system. Okay. Jeez. It's funny what you find out. Yeah, exactly. And giving her body a fighting chance. She ate some food. So I had a conversation with her kids. Well, one of her kids. One of them is having their own health issues with kidney stuff and something. I don't know. I'm guessing something like that. The other child is out of town. She lives not far, but when you got kids of your own, it's far enough. Um, and then the other child, the boy, has I guess the word is developmental issues, but he's competent and can function. But he can go get groceries and stuff like that. But he has his own issues. So I had a blunt conversation with the one daughter which is my cousin, who I'm dealing with, and I said, listen, because I've been through parents who are sick, elderly, and when they're overweight, it's a big problem. So I said, no judgment. I'm not judging you, but if she can lose weight, that's good. Um, and a lot of our elders don't want to change their diet. They want to eat this native foods from back home, and it's not helping you. And she ate something. She asked someone to bring her food at the hospital, and then she was throwing it up. So everyone was like, "Oh my gosh!" But it was the food. So I told her to come off of meat, come off of stuff, just eat, a plant-based, healthy diet. So that's what we're doing. Sea moss, stuff like that. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, ginger shots. And her body's actually craving it. So she's doing good with that. And hopefully she'll be strong enough now to start the treatment. I don't know what treatment. It's either chemo or radiation. Don't ask me the difference of either. I don't really know. I kind of know, but not really. So that's what I've been doing. And I found a book. I had this book years and years ago. My sister gave it to us. And this is the book. It's from trying to get it. Okay. Anyways, it's from Norman W. Walker. It's an old time book. This says $4.95. This book's probably about $15 now. And it's called Fresh Vegetable and Fruit Juices. What's missing in your body? So I took a quick look at it again because I was looking for it for the last year. I've been looking for this book, looking for it in my boxes in the garage, looking for it all over the place. Ended up going to my parents' house this week, and the book was there in one of their boxes. Happened to stumble upon it. Two books. This book that he wrote, and he wrote a book called Colon, something about the colon. I breezed through the book. I don't know about you, but some of these old books, the information is mad relevant. Like it's not outdated, and talking about the colon, the first brain, second brain, however you want to view it. But I'm telling you. So carrots is basically the main ingredient I'm going to be using for her and even myself. Carrots. You don't need to have a 50 million ingredients. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And it gives you ratios. It tells you how much nutrients is in, certain vegetables and fruits in general. Hey, Food Forest. You know what? You crossed my mind yesterday because I'm like, I haven't seen him in a while. Usually you're live in the morning. I haven't seen you in the streets. So it's funny you popped in. You popped in my mind yesterday. I hope you're okay over there in Vancouver. But yeah, and I'm just reading, acidosis and just, you know, and I keep telling you guys, you need to watch Yaki Awakened. He's usually on Instagram because YouTube usually censors his content. He'll post it on YouTube after he's edited out certain things, if he said certain things he shouldn't have. But yeah, tap into some of those herbalists because they're teaching some different concepts that are opposite what you hear from the white coats in the medical system. So check them out. It is interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm that's what I'm doing. I'm re-researching old information. Yeah, I'm he has some great information. I'm reading Carbon's comments. So I'm saying, yeah, like you guys know what I'm reading. Okay, you're well. Okay, that's good. Um, it's it's important to detox. I've mentioned it before, I'm mentioning it again just because she was fine. She was having other issues like joint pain, ankle, nothing to do with the issue that she has now. So, I good morning AR Patriot. I am encouraging you to please do a detox, do a cleanse, change some of what you're eating because you think you're fine, you feel fine until you're not. And luckily enough, they found her issue early enough because this one is the one that if you find it late, it's not good. Um, Her kids have to kind of put their foot down with her. I even said, listen, if you don't want to do what we're recommending, it's up to you. You're a grown adult. I can't force anybody to do anything. And if that means you, good morning, African Dreaming. Good morning, Shani. Sorry, not Shani. Shauna, sorry. See, everyone's getting us all mixed up because there's Shanna and there's Shawnee, but I know how to say your name properly, so excuse me. But if you don't want to do what's right for your health and what's going to benefit you, I can't make you. If you want to smoke, if you want to do this, that, like you have to make your own decisions. But don't start crying at the end of the day and saying, why is things happening to me? That's the way that I am. I'm not being cold. I'm not being cruel. But don't cry after and say, oh, why are these things happening to me when you were the one eating those foods and doing those things? Like, what do you think's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So I said, as long as you're okay with the outcome, I'll support whatever you want to do. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. You made up your mind. I made up my mind. That's just the way it's gonna be. So she didn't really like that, but I can't, I'm too old to be playing games. I'm at that age. I was sitting down. I'm at that age because we were laughing about senior citizens. Well, where senior citizens like literally belch and burp in public and don't give a crap. I'm at that age where it's like, I don't care. If I'm going to burp, I'm going to be blah. That's not ladylike. I don't care. I've got to the point where I'm at the cusp of that age where you don't give a crap. And whoever's getting the repercussions, it's not my problem. Good morning, Felicia. It's not my problem. So that's the kind of the age where I'm at now. Grow what you eat and eat what you grow. I'm telling you, I'm online now looking for, because I've been talking about grounding and I've been seeing a lot about grounding. I cannot ground. It's winter here. I'm not going outside in bare feet just to ground. It's too cold and damp over here. So I'm looking into like they have grounding sheets, they have grounding mats where you can kind of get that same effect, but doing it indoors. So I'm gonna check that out and try it out. If it does something good, then I'll share that. But I don't know. I'm just trying whatever I can try. It doesn't hurt, right? It's less invasive than all these other things. Um, and figuring out what's gonna give you the most optimal health because these streets ain't looking too good. The amount of people in this last few months at the end of the year that are getting diagnosed with chronically and terminal illnesses is ridiculous. It's really bad. I'm telling you, old people. I'm getting to that age. I'm at the cusp of that age where it's like I don't care. I don't care. If I have to burp, I'm gonna burp. Give me a second here. Smile and have a good vibration. Yes, I'm take off your shoe. Yeah, and that's why I haven't grounded because it's now the weather changed, so I can't. But I'm gonna try. Okay, so grounding it's basically the principle of going outside and standing on the ground with no socks and shoes, just like Food Force has says. And what it does, I'm probably not going to explain it properly, but if I are you on Instagram, CC? Because if you are, I can flip you over the one of the videos that I found. Earthing, grounding, it's the same thing. And you stand out there, I think it's for at least 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm not sure. And the electrical charge from the earth goes through your body. And okay, I'll find you. And it rejuvenates and even if you can't ground, they said if you go and you hug a tree for a couple of minutes, it gives you the same effect. So if you can't ground, you can actually go outside and hug a tree. And it gives you some kind of electric charge and pulse through your body. Good morning, Drells, and good morning. I missed somebody, but if I missed you, she said, good morning, both of you. Through your body helps you rejuvenate. And it also, this morning I saw a video with all the um electromagnetic frequencies that we have in our homes and our devices. The negative ions, I think, in the earth, they said, don't quote me, negative ions help neutralize and cancel that out. And then some people are putting something on their cell phone to kind of stop that electromagnetic flow. Anyways, if you're grounding or earthing, that stuff helps you. So if you're somebody who likes to camp and you like to be in the wilderness, you're already grounding. When you're sleeping on the ground, you're getting that effect. So they're selling products that you can purchase that is like a you can put it on your bed sheet and you sleep on it, or there's a mat you stand on for 10 minutes a day, and that helps. People are trying red light therapy and all these different therapies to help with skin rejuvenation. My throat, 1 second. Excuse me, 1 second. And another second. My God. Sorry, my goodness. And what people are finding is that people with simple health issues that they haven't really found a resolve, like hypertension and those kind of things, and they've changed their diet, they're doing certain things that are helpful. Those things are working, but some people need a little something extra. And this connecting back with nature is very important, and some people need it more than others. Fresh air, exercise, sunshine. I'm outside 3 times a day because I have chickens. So I'm outside. I went outside already. You clean up, you check out things. You're outside getting fresh air, even though it's cold. So I'm outside at least 3 to 4 times a day. I'm not getting a lot of sunshine because it's overcast, but just being out in nature is very important. Let me keep up with the chat. Yes, all is well, Drells. Thank you so much. I was feeling a little ant, but I'm still feeling a little ant this morning, but it will pass. Yeah, hug a tree. I don't have trees in my property. Well, there was a tree, but that got knocked down. But I can go behind my fence and literally stand there and hug a tree where people can't see me. If you don't want to be seen, it looks kind of weird, but it's not. And that gives you that connection. It does something, and we each have our own frequency, not individually, but as species, we have a frequency and a vibration, and we need to connect back to nature to get back in tune with the vibration. Once I get my mango tree, I'll be hugging. I'm telling you, there's science behind these statements, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's not. Microwaves don't like water and trees, so hug a tree. Yes, and trees. My throat is just acting up right now. Good morning to you, Mama. Trees have a whole internet under the ground. All of their roots may not connect, but they're literally communicating with each other underground. There's a whole web that's happening outside of the internet, outside of technology, that is totally natural. Absolutely. And everything that we've done in the world is mimicking nature, but we don't even realize because we don't have that information. We don't study that. But it's the same thing. The internet is going and communicating. Trees are communicating with each other. My tree in my backyard that's in the ground is communicating with a tree 5 blocks down. They have a whole web of communication. And there's a particular species that they've noticed. I have to find the film on that, the video. And they noticed that. And at certain times of year, they communicate with each other and they all blossom at the same time. That's humanly impossible unless they have some kind of way to communicate with each other. And they're proving that more and more. I have a grounding mat because I don't trust my ground. Ants are disrespectful. Okay, so do you find the Drells that the healing mat works? Because I'm looking on Amazon to purchase one because I think I'm going to try it out. And even some red light therapy. I mentioned a few weeks ago, maybe months now. Good morning, Virginia Bushcrafter, and anybody that I may have missed. My apologies. A few months, maybe 2 months ago now, There's a study, and the NIH has documented that blue light, especially at night. So those of us who are going to bed in our cell phones or still in our phones at night, it has a negative effect on us, and it has been proven to raise your blood sugar levels and be affect people either getting diabetes or becoming diabetic. So the tablets, the cell phones, all of our devices that are heavily with the blue light is having a negative effect, and that has been documented with the NIH. I reference that document, but if you just go and Google, blue light under the NIH, it will find it for you. So when people are talking about getting blue light glasses and stuff, when you're on the computer all day, if you're on the computer all day, like most of us are, as part of your day to day job, I would recommend getting blue light glasses to filter out that excessive blue light, because they are finding that it is negatively impacting our health. And some of these things we're finding out so far after the fact that it's not helping us. The stomata starts working in the plants and trees when the birds. Yes, and I saw a video on that the birds in the early morning that are chirping, that frequency is waking up that part of the plants. And you kind of wonder, what is the point of these birds? They're so annoying. They wake up at the crack of dawn and disturbing you. Everything has a purpose, but we don't understand what that purpose always is. And even mosquitoes, even though I hate mosquitoes and I hate squirrels, they have a purpose. We don't understand the bigger picture. So we need to just humble ourselves and just observe, watch, and learn, and not be trying to spray, kill, raid everything. Just, um, let's put some pressure. Oh, thank you. Put some pressure on that like button. And the link is there. I'll drop it again. You want to come up. This is a talk about absolutely nothing. Let me see. She believes it's working. I purchased mine from Amazon. It came in a 2-pack. Okay. I'm gonna buy a mat. I was grounding all summer and spring, but now that it's cold, I cannot. And I don't want to go revert back, and then you have to wait till next spring again. So I want to maintain my improvement, especially with the blood pressure. Definitely it's getting much better. It's almost, I think, almost under control. My rabbit hole been so deep sometimes I want to unplug. I'm telling you. Um I don't keep my stuff plugged in. I'm starting to charge my cell phone in another room like they recommended. I put the ringer on very loud, so hopefully if there's a call, it's urgent, I'll hear it. But I'm charging the phone away. They said they shouldn't even have it in your room because those waves are affecting you. I can only try it and see if I've seen improvement. That's how you're gonna know. But too many people are saying the same thing. So there has to be a bit of truth. But they kind of put it in the conspiracy theorist category and make us think that people are crazy, but they're not crazy. Absolutely not crazy. This is a mishmash of greens and ginger. It actually tastes good. Once you change your taste buds, you'll start to enjoy those things more. But yeah, I don't have an alarm clock anymore. My alarm clock is my cell phone. But I get up naturally with the sun. Hold on, I see you there in the background. I'm waiting for it to load. I don't see. Okay, I see you now. There. It's a bit of a lag. Okay, I'm bringing you up. It's a hey. Good morning, Ashton.
What's going on, sister? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I got a good solid signal out here in these
Hmm.
sticks. How you doing this morning?
I'm okay. Just a little lethargic, but I'm good otherwise. One of those days
Good,
where you're
good,
just kind
good,
of
good, good.
overtired, but no complaints otherwise.
Good, good, good. Well, I hope you get the feeling better.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's environment change taking a toll on me too. I've been I don't feel bad or nothing, just a little bit of scratchy throat, kind of like you, a little tired. Um,
Hmm.
but man, as always, sis, you always hit. I mean, even though this is a show about nothing, it's still a it's a great topic though. It's a great topic. And 2 points you hit on earlier really, really kind of they stirred me. I got two things I want to talk about real quick. One,
Hmm.
the first one is uh man, and you the perfect person to talk to about this too, especially with you, having started, grown, and lived in another country. You kind of understand. So here's a weird thing, Urban. True story. I can't make this up. So I've been grubbing a lot, catching up on some of the foods I missed, on some of the things that I hadn't, tasted in like 3+ years or whatever, outside of care packages, yada yada. I'm I found myself at least twice since I've been back home still being hungry. So the discipline in me and being an adult, it's like, bruh, you like literally just ate not even an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago. We could eat a half. Me and April would share like a half a chicken in Tanzania and both feel
Hmm.
full. We would have vegetables and maybe some chicken on the grill or usually chicken on the grill.
Hmm.
And we be good. I've been eating all of this delicious food, but I still feel empty. I still feel hungry. So it's like I'm not saying this is verification. For me, it's personal proof. I'm eating a lot, but the nutrients just not there. It's just not there. Cause
I
it's no
yeah,
way I
I
should
agree.
be
Yeah,
hungry.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
That's
sis.
definitely what I noticed because when I came off of all the so much processed food, like for instance, I'm juicing. I try to keep up with the juicing. If I have two juices in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine until 12, 1 o'clock, literally. If I'm eating,
Right.
it's out of sheer boredom. It's not because I'm really hungry. And you have to kind of learn,
Mm-hmm.
you're right, the discipline because my body is hungry when I don't eat properly because it's craving nutrients. And instead of me
Yep.
realizing, okay, I need nutrients, you keep eating empty calories and you're just blowing up and
Yep.
bloating, but you're not nourished. And it's a very hard habit to break. It's really hard. But once you break it, try not to get back into it. Because literally, yeah, you would go have a chicken, back home, you have a chicken, you have some rice, some salad, and I'm fine. I get more thirsty than anything, but not hungry. And we just
Right.
nibble,
Right.
nibble, nibble, nibble because we're just bored, because it's there, because it's, nothing else to do. And half the time you're really thirsty. You're not hungry. You're thirsty. Your
Right.
cells need
Yes.
something. So I'm glad I'm glad you
Absolutely.
noticed that like right away you're eating, but you're not like, why am I still hungry?
It's
The food
crazy,
has
Urban.
nothing.
It's
The food is
crazy.
nothing. The food is nothing. And people think, oh, it's just, the
It's
homesteaders
empty
are talking
calories.
their homesteading rhetoric. No, the food literally has nothing. And there's it only makes
Mm-hmm.
sense because people think because people are overweight, they're overeating. That's not entirely true. They're eating, but they're still malnourished because their body is not getting what it
Absolutely.
needs. So it's giving you the hunger signal and then you keep giving it the same emptiness. And of course you're putting on weight, but you're not nourishing the cells. Good morning, drunken chef. And people don't understand the connection. You're eating junk, you're eating, lard,
Right.
butter, hydrogenated whatever, MSG, you know, when I went through the video a couple months
Mm-hmm.
ago with you guys about the McDonald's, well, I shouldn't say that word, but those Arches French fries, which I love so much, and you
Right.
went through how they're made. It's not even potato. Like, it's not even potato,
Mm-mm.
really. The potato is sprayed and gassed and this and that to make it so perfect because we want everything perfect that literally you're not even getting food. And then they put these chemicals and these flavorings to give you that sensation. And then you're so hooked on it, but you haven't actually eaten any food. We've talked about this. You and I have talked about this before the whole Star Trek vaporizing, the food
Yeah.
computer, give me
Right.
X, Y.
Right.
And that's what we're doing.
Right.
And too many
Yeah.
people I'm seeing are
It's
getting
straight to the
sick.
brain.
Brain. You're
It's
we're
it's straight to the
we're
brain.
fooling
It's
ourselves,
chemicals and signals. Yep.
right? But your body is fighting against that, and you're not listening to your body saying hello, like hunger, hunger, like gas, thirst, thirst, and it's giving you those signals, but you're giving it a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi and a, no offense to these companies, don't come and sue me, those things in a bottle that had been on the
Right.
shelf, and
Right.
you feel like you're the only one seeing it because so many people are in the matrix. You go to the store, and I went to go buy juice. Any juice that you buy should not be on the unrefrigerated shelf. That's for sure. How can you buy juice on a shelf that's not refrigerated? Is that really juice? That doesn't make
Mm.
sense to me.
Mm.
When I make juice from my fruits and vegetables,
Right.
I have to refrigerate because it's fresh. Good morning, planter. Good morning, lashes.
Yep.
This is not juice. This is a syrupy concoction that they call, I don't know what they call it, and we're drinking it and giving our kids it as juice. That's not juice. There's no fruit or vegetables in those concoctions. Then you go to the refrigerated
And
section.
sometimes
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
facts.
You jump in.
No, I was gonna say sometimes they'll say like 5% juice or 1% juice. Well, what is the other 95%? Because that's one thing that we've talked about this before too, Irvin. Man, back in Africa, back in Tanzania, everything bread had like a 3-day shelf life. Most of the fruits and vegetables, that's why people would buy every day, like on a consistent basis, because this is for either immediate or next day or two consumption. Like you will have a house full of flies from the market. If you go to the market and you don't eat this
Right.
stuff or share it with people, you will have a house full of fruit flies because it actually breaks down. It's like true organic in the sense of, I think the intent behind the word is like all natural. Somebody just pulled it off a tree. Sometimes we would go to like neighbors, and neighbors would come to us, and we would share fruits and like, okay, we got too many potatoes for just me and April, and they got like, you know what I'm saying, a whole
Mm-hmm.
banana orchard in the back. Well, here, take these sweet bananas, and we would swap and trade like that. And that's something, I'm gonna be honest. That's something that I kind of miss already, because I'm telling you, fam, if it wasn't raining here this morning, I would already be outside, just walking the property at least for an hour. I don't know how. I could put my smartwatch on. I don't care how far or how fast. I would just be out getting exercise this morning, because I, I'm a little disappointed, Urban. I done made like probably barbecue. I'm in Texas. You know, we love the barbecue. Maybe 3 slabs of ribs since I've been here, and
Yeah.
I've got I've gotten as full from one tomato back home and an avocado than I have from, 3 or 4 ribs. That don't make sense. It's not supposed to be that way.
Doesn't make
So
sense. Hey, Erica.
yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And like I'm going to the store, and the more knowledge you get, the more you go to the. I don't go to the store that often, to be honest. When I go to the store, like today, I'm going to go to the wholesale store, buy some more produce to juice for the family member and for myself, and all of us, because we haven't really gotten a flu, and we keep ourselves on a certain diet. Like, yeah, I have junk food here and there, but the addiction is not as
Mm-hmm.
strong as before. That's for certain. And I'm
Right.
changing my source. I don't know about you because now you're back in Texas, but you can find a lot of farmers who are doing things differently and connect and buy your stuff from them direct, meat included. There's a lot of farmers that are like, "No, we
Yep.
have a private network and or CSA or whatever they call, and you order directly from them. Your chickens, your quail, your beef, if you want lamb, goat, like they have a whole private network that does not involve the grocery store. And people
Mm-hmm.
are tapping into that because exactly, who wants to eat a whole plate of ribs and then you're hungry 10 minutes later? It doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any logical
Right.
sense. You
Right.
should be able to have one healthy, hefty meal a day and feel held down for several hours. It doesn't make sense. Let me see what
Right.
Virginia's
And
saying.
sis,
If you
I'm
buy
sorry,
French fries from Mickey,
go
I
ahead.
tell them, yeah, me too, Virginia. I now order my fries with no salt, or I ask them for light salt, and they look at me weird. But honestly, yeah, I said so. They go, "Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
have to wait. We gotta make a fresh batch." I go, "Make a fresh batch." I don't want no salt. I don't want no salt because it's
Mm-hmm.
that's what's killing us also. So I do indulge, but I try to make it a little healthier. But yeah, I gotta make my own fries in the air fryer. They actually taste better. You put some bacon grease on that if you're into that, and you make your potatoes. You cut them up small,
Yeah.
sea salt and whatever, and put that in the oven or the air fryer. Them fries are nice, very
Yeah.
nice. But we gotta pull up our own socks. Like, no, I can't. I can only talk and encourage, but you gotta pull up your own socks, guys, because it's getting real out here. The amount of people between 30 and 50 that are in the healthcare system is astronomical. I'm not, and that, and
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about black people and Hispanic people who are in there because there's certain things that, like, fibroids and things that they're predisposed to, high blood pressure, diabetes. It's not a joke. There's too many of us in that age group that are on medication and are unhealthy. And some people have even had strokes, heart attacks, and such the like. And they haven't even hit 50. Why are we
Absolutely.
more
And that ties
knowledgeable
into the
nowadays
second
and
part.
less healthy?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I can only encourage you guys. Hey, and I see Lashes says, yeah, she's changed her life. I don't want to be on all these pills. I don't want, like, this year Christmas dinner. Everybody knows, if you think you're gonna come here and get 10 kinds of meat, we ain't doing that. You're not gonna have goat, oxtail, and chicken and turkey. Like, we're not doing none of that. And then you have leftovers for 5 weeks. We're not doing none of, and in the free. We're not doing none of
Right.
that. You get two or three things, meats, two or three. It's gonna be nice, but we're not overdoing it. It's not necessary. I don't need to be clogged up for 2 weeks just to say I celebrated. Yay. No, it's not
Mm-hmm.
sensible. And the food that we're getting is so,
Absolutely.
they lie. Like, these companies are such liars. They know the problems and they don't care. They are
At
in league.
all.
The food
At all.
industry is in league with the pharmaceuticals. They are cousins. They are owned by the same parent companies.
Right. Right. Hey, Urban, that was the next point that I wanted to make because I heard I mean I jumped in shortly after the live started, and
Hmm.
I was listening at you, and this is one of the things. So this is, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I will say this, as somebody who still has some horrible habits that I need to perfect and work on and exclude from my life. I actually lost almost 50 pounds in Africa. One of these days I have the courage to like actually show some of the pictures. You should have
Hmm.
seen me when I first got there. I was depressed. I was probably at the lowest I had ever been after losing my mom's and my brother 8 months apart, and
Yep.
other relatives coming out of 2020. I was sick. I was just so unhealthy, in a deep, deep phase of mourning and all of that. I lost about 50 pounds from the sunshine, the fresh air, the limited diet, and exercise. So it can be done. But the other part of that is what you just said, these companies and environment. So I literally live just outside of, if you look it up online, the border of
Hmm.
what they call, I don't want to say this on your show, starts with C, ends with answer. That disease,
Okay.
that ailment,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
And in Louisiana, they got this thing called C word alley. And it
Wow.
branches over into Texas and parts of Mississippi. So you can have some of the healthiest lifestyle you could imagine, and people are still dropping like flies. And like you said, the youth, there are people in their 20s who are on dialysis down here. There are people who are in their 30s who have stage 3 this and stage 4 that, not because they live trifling lives, but because of the environment. When, and I can't speak for Canada, but in the US, of course, you had the Great Migration back in the day. A lot of people moved up north for some of these bigger automakers to work there. Some people even ventured up into Canada, but
Hmm.
and around the Great Lakes area. But a lot of these places, once they were vacated, some of it was reacquired, reacquisitioned as farmland, and some of it became dump sites. and it literally runs all the way from central Louisiana all the way back west to places around Houston, Texas City, uh as far up as where I am. Sometimes it's
That is
power
a
line. You
whole
see some of these big power.
other
Go ahead.
that is a whole other problem. Like that's beyond anyone's control, but that is
Mm-hmm.
a problem because I know for a fact the dumping, the medical waste is a whole other issue that they dump and
Mm-hmm.
they pick
Mm-hmm.
particular communities to dump this stuff in and it's a full
Yep.
circle. Like the lifestyle that we're
Yeah.
living in this country and that they promote is promoting sickness in every category. We can't keep producing all this
Mm-hmm.
garbage. Like, where's it all gonna go? And then now we have the audacity to dump it in other countries. Like, this is what we're doing. And
Literally.
we and yeah,
Yep.
literally. And it's like, and we wonder why we're getting sick, but which communities are getting the most sick? Where are they dumping this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a
Mm-hmm.
correlation, but they're not gonna put that in writing. But yeah, so even you're right, even though some people
And when
do
you,
the right thing, the environment is so toxic and radioactive and
yep.
so it's going to cause a problem. That's unfortunate. And people
Yep.
can't afford to just pick up and move either.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's not I'm
Yep.
not judging anybody. This is
I
just a
thought.
conversation. I'm not saying, oh, you I'm just we're just pointing out the realities. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It,
And you
we
always have
can't
these
live in these
convos, sis.
environments and
You
be
always
healthy.
have these great conversations. Yeah.
It's
You
it's
do
it's
it.
it's
You do
sickening.
it.
And then
You
we
have the great conversations, man.
Thank you. But it's just I find it's just sickening. It's literally sickening. And it's like what do we do about it? That's kind of like for 2024. What can we each do about it? Hey Renaissance, I don't know if I said hi to you and Regenerative Wayne and Tori, I see you there. What are we going to do about it? Because there's something we can each start to do. I mean that we maybe can't pick up and move, but there must be something we
Mm-hmm.
can start to do because I just don't believe we need to sit there and be the victim. I can't
Right.
accept that because if we
Right.
accept that, there's no hope for anybody else after us. I just can't swallow that pill.
Right.
But
Right.
upon researching heavily, people like cilantro, there's things that you can take that heavily detox your body. Now, you're gonna have to probably detox on a
Mm-hmm.
weekly basis if you're in a toxic environment versus somebody else who's somewhere in a more country area. But there's a possibility until you can do better and move and go somewhere else. Lashes had mentioned before she was in an apartment and the apartment was full of mold, but that's all she could afford at the time. And her kids
Mm-hmm.
was always getting sick. But
Mm-hmm.
this is what people like. They put you in environments and they don't give a crap about you and your kids. And they
Right.
collect their rent and you're there suffering the long-term damage of these environments. Hey, Jamaica. It's a problem. Like,
Yep.
I'm trying to get out the city as much as I can, but it's like every day I'm like, where is the outlet? Where am I going? You can't put all the pieces together. It's ridiculous. And then I have to go to the bank to go redo
We.
my mortgage. The rates are so damn high,
Mm-hmm.
as we all know. Like
Oh God.
literally, they
Yeah.
don't want you to have any extra money. They don't
Yeah.
want you to have nothing left. Nothing left.
It's
But I have something to complain about versus
true.
somebody else who literally can't even get into the market. But this is what they're doing. And I'm looking at the bank and I'm like, they're so literally evil. Evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've done two
Yeah.
things this
You right,
this year,
sis.
and I'm like, really? Yeah, evil.
You right.
I'm like,
You
okay.
right.
No problem. I get it more now. I got you. I got your game. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna fix your business because
What?
they everywhere you turn, they're making money. They're making money
Every which way. Every
every
which way.
turn.
Every which way. And like you said, what can we do about it? For one, you already doing it. Uh, Anybody who follow lashes, you can see the lifestyle. It's got to be a lifestyle change. Like I'm out here in the country. That's the only thing I can honestly swallow is being in a rural area. If you look at people like regenerative life wane, people
Mhm.
who really build up their own off-grid systems, everything from the heaters to the power sources and all of that stuff. That is one of the few things that you can do not only for sustainability, but it gives you power in times where you may either be off grid or the grid. And when I say grid down, I'm not talking about end of the world. I'm saying that the doggone power go out for X amount of time. You know, if you don't want all your meat to spoil, if you don't want all your you might have some plants under some grow lights or something. Sustainability and really grow, I mean, eat as much of what you can grow or butcher yourself, and
Mhm.
you'll be fine. And I gotta be honest, Irvin, and you could probably understand, man, my sister, like, if I don't have to slaughter another chicken for like the next couple of months, I'll still be good because I done plucked and as you call it, dispatched
Yeah.
so much of my own food. I'm good for a little while,
You're
but I
good.
still, know how to do it. Yeah.
I just want to answer Virginia Bushcrafter. Yeah, the rates here, the minimum I'm looking at is they're saying 7.2%. Exactly. This, like,
Jesus.
yeah. I was like,
Jeez.
what the hell?
Woo.
I'm like, okay, God, just keep me calm. I'm not getting my blood pressure up. I'm just gonna, you just gotta learn to work with the system and how to outsmart these people. Because 7.2 and your house hasn't done anything different. This is the what's going on. And then he's
Wow.
asked also, it's hard to and expensive to eat healthy. Yes and no. They make it yes and no. There's that comment has like almost three parts. Depends where you shop. The system does make healthy food more expensive, which makes no sense because to buy one avocado that required you to do nothing but grow it versus a whole bag of chips, why is the avocado more expensive than the bag of chips that has 50 something ingredients?
Right,
And
right.
also the timing of when you
Mm-hmm.
shop, buying in season, and if you're going to shop in bulk or not. So if when I go shopping for produce now, I go to the wholesale cash and carry, and I get my celery, my cucumber, and certain things from there. And a lot of times they
Mm-hmm.
have clearance stuff, which is in very good condition, and you just go home and chop that up and freeze it right away, or you cook it or whatever. So it depends when and where you shop. But the one thing I have learned about eating healthier, and good morning, Random Jail, is that when you eat actual food, the same thing African was saying, then you feel satiated. If you're feeling satiated, then you're not snacking as much and nibbling on other things. So if you're spending a little more on the food, but you're getting a meal that holds you for 5 to 6 to 8 hours, then to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's a better use of the money than to buy a whole bunch of stuff and then you're always still hungry, if that makes sense. And I think I know you
Yes.
are he is plant-based. I don't know if he's plant-based or vegetarian or vegan, but I know he doesn't eat meat. So there's a lot of things you can buy, but if you buy them in bulk, it's much better. That's what and I'm growing my own microgreens and there's ways to do it, but they are making it more difficult. Trust and believe. They are making it more difficult.
Right.
You go to the store and you're like,
Right.
"Really? You're just being extra now. You're just making the price higher for no reason. You're making excuses now." Because that rice was like
Yeah.
one price
Yeah.
last week and the CM rice is now, oh, it's the market, it's like, roars and all these different, the logistics and lies. Lies.
Yeah. You 100% right, sis. And not to take the conversation backwards, but when you said
Mhm.
7 point anything, like you can't even get a CD at that rate. I don't care if it's a 1 year, 2 year, or a 5 year. You can't even get a CD with that kind of interest on it. Not that I've seen, but for
No.
mortgage, yo, that is crazy.
Yeah. That's what's
That's
happening.
crazy.
So people who are not already in the market, this is what we've been talking about this for a while. People have noticed like your kids ain't gonna like we're at a stage in history again where you have to leave something for your kids to inherit. Otherwise, they're
Mm-hmm.
screwed. I'm of the generation where
Yes.
your parents emigrated and everyone had to kind of start from zero because they don't have enough to really leave a lot behind. But some people are
Mm-hmm.
getting smarter and using their homes like the elders and they're renting out basements and they're generating income and they're keeping their homes and staying in their homes and then trying to leave that for the kids. So if kids can learn to
Right.
work together and not be fighting with each other and carrying on, we'd be better ahead. We're back in those days where you buy a piece of land and everybody just keeps building another house on that land. That's where we need to be. Because to have your kids go out
Mm-hmm.
into the world and buy a house from scratch, like some of us had to do, no way in hell. They're not going to have anything left to
At
eat, no
all.
damn food. No,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
You have to be having a mindset that whatever you've built up now, you need to leave a legacy. Otherwise, your kids and your grandkids are going to be in deep doo doo. Deep doo doo. Good morning, superfood
Facts.
parent. Buy you sugar. It's bad. The homelessness I keep talking about over here, and I know it's across North America, U.S., everywhere. The homelessness is through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Roof.
It
You
is.
see people begging at
It
corners that
is.
they would never beg at 10, 15 years ago. Ever in life. Every stoplight you go to,
Facts.
you got to make sure your doors are locked and your windows are up because someone just come pull up to come
Mm-hmm.
start begging at some random places that you've never seen people begging before. You come out the parking lot
Yes.
from the grocery store to go to your car, and you gotta be like swivel, get to your car, put the groceries in the car, and get in and lock the door because someone's wants to come and start you know begging. Yeah, you can come on the
Urban, I
panel,
seen
Lucia.
it, but
Yeah,
I
it's
did not.
fine. Yeah, no problem. Let me drop the link again. Sorry, I didn't even read your comments. Sorry. I said hi, but I didn't. Yeah, you can come up. Certainly. It's that bad. And I really like and I told my sister, I'm like, yo, just keep your eyes on swivel because it's not even kidnapping that you have to only worry about, but people just are so desperate and they think because you're going to the store you're somehow rich. I'm not rich. I have a certain budget to buy what I need, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
Like pretty much
Right.
it.
Right.
And I do give to people who have a need, but I go through, a legitimate channel, like, a charity or when people come to
Mm-hmm.
church and they have needs we put together. But just to give to strangers on the street, no, I don't do that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Yeah.
a cup of tea or I'll buy something for you, but just to give you cash, oh no, those days were done 20 years ago. Because I don't know what you're doing with
I
that money,
completely
and I, I
understand.
I can't I can't I just don't have the trust in some of these people anymore. So I have to just if you need something and I'm going to the store and you say, okay, I need a sandwich, yeah, I'll buy you a sandwich. If I can do it, I'll buy you a sandwich. Hey, bud files.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just
Hey,
giving you cash
files.
and stuff anymore, no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But people are
I
desperate,
my sister.
and it's sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
People are desperate, and it's reaching the nicer areas of town, big time. Because I go to the nice areas to shop
Mm-hmm.
and come back to my area, but they're over there too. Over there.
Absolutely.
They're over there.
Yeah. 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 And it didn't get any
It's
better.
best to
It's
get some
actually
land and
gotten
build your
worse.
own. Yeah. And I'm looking for land regenerative way, and trust me, I am. I don't I don't know if I want to build a house from scratch, but I do want land, even if it's like a 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom house on there already, but a 5, 10, whatever acre. I'm looking. Trust and believe I'm looking. And I'll also put a trailer on that piece of land as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's getting bad out in
Mm-hmm.
these streets. I want to have
Yeah.
my chicken, my quail, and whatever in peace and not have to worry about nobody coming to report me or to come and say nothing. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's not cheaper to grow my own food. I want to control what my food is, where it's coming from, and the access that I have to it. It's not always about the price point
Period.
because
That's
what
it.
they're doing is cheaper, but there's no nutrients. So you got to pick and choose your battles. And that's not a battle that I'm going to waste my time with. That's a
Yeah.
waste of my time. They have proven that the nutrients in food
And Urban,
nowadays.
I'm
No, you go ahead because there's a lag. Go ahead.
I, yeah, I'm sorry, sis. It's a little bit of a delay, so I'm sorry to keep like
Hmm.
interject cutting you off.
No, no,
I
no problem.
apologize. But the what you said is 100% true. I'm not kidding, man. After about a year in Africa, I literally sometimes for breakfast, one of the staple foods for morning food is called chipate, and it's basically like a
A roti.
softer, thicker, yeah, like a tortilla. I would have
Mm.
maybe one piece of chapate or just an avocado and a tomato for breakfast. And
Mm-hmm.
I was so, and I'm not vegan. Y'all already know I eat meat, baby. But I'm telling you, I would be so full compared to some of the big meals I've had since I've been home and felt nothing. But hey, Quita, what's going on, fam?
Hey, unicorn lady. Hey, Laquita, how you doing?
Yeah, hello, good morning. I didn't want to interrupt. Finish your thought. Finish your thought.
I think
I
he's
was
finished.
just real quick, man. It's just
Mm.
yeah, I'm finished. I'm finished. That's it. That's it.
I think he was finished. You could just merge him. We don't mind.
Oh, good. Well, good morning, everyone. Good to be here. I'm always kind of lurking and listening. Um, and I just like to say hello to everyone in the chat because I hardly ever say hello, this person, mainly because I'm usually doing something else and I can't type everybody's name in. I'm always on my phone. So just to, please everybody, always give me grace. Don't think I'm being rude or anything. Um, I guess that's the age I'm at,
Yeah.
where I can't give a hoot about not typing everybody's name anymore. But I actually do. I'm always concerned, and I'm always lurking on African Dreamers channel because I will say you and April have really inspired me. Not inspired me, but I just get a lot of goodness over there. I don't want to be messy, but I'm gonna say when y'all take people out, when y'all address stuff head on, those have been some of my favorite favorite episodes. Because I'm like, ooh, thank you, thank you. Somebody address this straight up, saying like calling the person's name, letting them know we ain't with it. So I just love it because it really shows like good. Thank God we still got some men out here, taking charge and just being honest and taking care of things. But that's not why I came here. Okay, that's not why I came here.
That was funny though. Yeah.
I just really wanted to chime in, and I'll be here just briefly, just to let you know, because I don't want to take over anything and the kids getting out of their lesson. But I wanted to talk about what you were saying earlier about grounding specifically. And of course, just like you were just talking about the answer with the C, uh,
Hmm.
it's there's so much out here that's going on. So with grounding, they make it seem like, oh, it's this new thing and all of this and everything. There's all we have to talk so everybody understands it. We can't say as above, so below, but we can say underground, there's the communications of the mushrooms, the mycelium network of the mushrooms that's connecting through the trees. And, like you just said, all of these things in nature are talking to each other. Vibration is sound with information, which is why when the birds tweet, like you said, they're telling the flowers to bloom or they're telling different things. Nature is always in harmony and communicating, from the mosquitoes and the flies buzzing to whatever. And so we they try to make it seem as though um oh, it's the woo woo community. Some of this stuff is not psychedelic, but it's way out there. They
Hmm.
just make it seem like it's way out there. And it's like when you were growing up in Jamaica and you climbed up a tree to get a mango, or you just jumped, or I was growing up here in the States and I was pulling a pecan off of a tree. That's grounding. Like it's the same thing because we didn't have cell phones in our pockets. So
Hmm.
the other thing is, like you said, those protectors, they do protect our devices from sending emitting those rays and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, sure, to a degree, but with all these waves around us and all the 5G, it's like we can't talk about it.
Hmm.
They don't
Hmm.
want us, like you said, they don't want us to talk about it because it's real. Every single time there was an iteration of every single time there was an increase from 1G to 2G to 3G to 4G up to 5. And they say that we're even past 5, they just haven't announced it, but that's
Yep.
another
Yep.
story because Okay, so see, so if you know, you know, but it just depends on who you're listening to, whether or not you know these things. Because I listen to a lot of the master herbalists, like you're saying about Yaki Awakened or Aris Latam, the older man in Jamaica with the white beard and the white mustache and everything.
Eris, is it
That's
Eris?
yes, Aris
Yeah,
Latam. That's who it.
yeah.
Aris. Okay, I
Latam,
might. I
yeah.
think
I don't
yes.
know, but I know what you're talking about. Yes, coconut water
Hmm.
man. Yeah.
Exactly, because he hasn't had any water in so many years because he's like the water is in the food. We don't have to just drink water. Whoever told us these 8 glasses, that was something because we were eating so much sludge, like you were saying, the processed food.
Hmm.
Uh, take care of food forest permaculture. We were eating so much processed and ultra processed, and it's like, y'all, we can just do some of the stuff if we just go back to basics. And this is the reason why I was like, let me just say this: all of us that are in this chat, we're adults, and uh, uh, we're older adults, like 30 and up, right? Which
Yep.
means we can remember not having a cell phone every second, not having, because and I say this because even on concrete, they say if you can ground without hugging a tree specifically, because anything in nature is a way to ground. So it depends on how far off the ground. So sometimes you can be on a sidewalk barefoot and you can still be grounded simply
Hmm.
because you don't have an electronic device in your pocket.
Okay.
And so you see what I mean? And so sometimes if you're in a parking lot, because that's also at ground level,
Hmm.
this is how powerful nature is. The same way we see these little pieces of grass and twigs coming up through the
Come
concrete.
through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So the
yeah.
ground really is right there, and the electricity inside of you and the electricity in the earth is powerful enough to communicate in that way. It really is a matter of when you're going outside to feed your chickens and whatever, you're still grounding because what they're on the ground, you're touching animals, you're touching other live human beings that
Right.
or just live beings. And so that's what I mean by if we just do some of the stuff that we used to do, and we aren't forcing, like you're saying, if you need to buy something from Amazon, get it. Those things work. Billy
Hmm.
Carson and Elizabeth Hextra, they talk a lot about grounding, like especially Elizabeth Hextra, his wife or fiance. I don't know if they're married yet, but Billy Carson's wife is Elizabeth Hextra, and she talks a lot. A lot of her work is in grounding, and she takes ground. They sleep on grounding pads, and they use them in their office chairs and all of this stuff. And there's other people. However, we don't have to buy anything. When I'm
Hmm.
walking into a store, I always make sure I touch whatever foliage. You know how they always have bushes and trees planted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah.
things pretty? I touch them. I make sure I'm brushing up against those. I touch them with my fingers. There's so many ways for us to just stay in communication with nature. And this is another reason why interaction with other people is so important. And that's what they're pulling us away from. Everybody's like, I'm
Yep.
an introvert.
Yep.
I'm an introvert.
They're pulling us away. Well, the last 3, 4 years was a major shift in that, but yeah, big time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But human engagement has been so powerful because all of these people that are on different medications and they say they've come off of them, whether they were mood depressants, mood elevators or suppressors or mood enhancers, depressant medications, anxiety medications, they talk about the interactions with other people is what helped them heal. And it's like, yeah, because those
Hmm.
are also electrical beings. This is why people love their animals, their dogs, their cats. Those are
Yeah.
electrical beings. So, anyways, that's just my rant. I didn't want to take over because I've been
No,
talking a
that's
long
that's
time. I'm
that's
sorry.
that's that's in line of like it's all part and parcel because I watched another video because the same grounding people were saying that's why you find people's dogs and cats because they're indoors with their owners all day. They are getting the same health issues that humans are getting because they're not outside like they're supposed to be in nature. So animals need to ground too. So we're having them in
Right.
apartment buildings and whatever, and it's like animals are getting hypertension, kidney problems. My cat had a thyroid problem. Like, what? What's happening? Yeah, because of the environment. And then G
Hmm.
Mama mentioned earlier, she moved away from the airport and she saw a huge difference. I'm telling you,
So
trains
you
and
know,
planes and all that noise and the fumes and the vibrations that's messing up with your frequency. I'm telling you, it's a
I'd like to
problem.
say something about the airplane, what you just said, because the radiation from airplanes is huge, right? Because I used to always just talk about, just think about like we in there breathing each other's air for how long? Like we all breathing the same air because they can't ventilate and they got to circulate
Yeah.
the air a certain way. But that's less of a concern because you're gonna get out and you're gonna breathe again. But the radiation from airplanes. So I was watching Regional Sky Girl the other day. She's a stewardess or a flight attendant, and she was saying that beans help with that radiation. That's why she eats them. So this is what I mean by if we just go back to what we were doing anyways. Like my mother grew up in New York City. She talked about being poor. She was born in the 40s. She was like, "Oh man,
Hmm.
we were so poor. We used to have to eat beans every day." Well, guess what? Beans are some of the most healthful food that if you can eat beans, any kind of beans, lentils, beans, peas, all of them. And around the world, if you think about it, all of us, all of our people have eaten some sort of bean, pea, or lentil. But those are the foods that they are anti-cancerous, right? Because some of us with
Hmm.
these answers with the C, it helps with
Hmm.
that. They're full of fiber, which is healing. They help with radiation. I just found that out from her. I said, "Oh, I got to do some more research." So it's like, y'all, the answer really is already in us. And like you all are saying, stop with the processed food. Even when we go to McDonald's and ask for no salt on our fries, well, the salt was already in there in the processing. So
True. Yeah.
we're asking for less salt, but it's
It's still
processed,
salt. Hmm.
and then not just salt, but the process. It's like, what is this that's been shaken down, pressed together, and running over in the worst way? What is this that we're eating? If we can't recognize it, what is it anyways?
Carbon's asking what kind of beans.
Very true.
Um, I know for me, I've been doing mung beans for my chickens and even myself. Mung beans and lentils, any beans, because from what I read
Any
up,
bean,
when you sprout them, they are so powerful. When that first
more
like five,
powerful.
more powerful than a full.
Wait a minute,
Yeah,
Urban. You got to fix that. You got to fix that because they're powerful. Sprouting them makes them more powerful.
more
It
powerful.
ain't even, you know, they
Yeah.
that's how they trick us. They use things like, oh, you have to sprout them, like you just said, because they're more powerful that way. But then some people think, oh, so if I don't sprout them, they're not good. And like you said, any bean. But
Mhm.
continue. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
any bean is good. I'm using mung beans and lentils because they're so easily and the price point I find is cheaper. Because
They
and who
always
wants to
cheap.
sprout kidney? Like you don't need kidney beans, all these big old beans. But mung beans and the girls are fighting over them. They be like, pushing each other and eating these sprouts. I know I saw Bull's Garden, he does lentils for his chickens. But the whole point is it's for yourself as well, not just your chickens. Those sprouts are good for your salads, your sandwiches, eating them raw because it's more bioavailable. So Laquita's right. It's not good to have them dry, but it's more powerful because it's bioavailable when you sprouted them and it goes right into your like a living cell right into your body. You can taste the chlorophyll. I'm telling you. Let me get my sprouts right now. Let me show you my sprouts. I have a whole bunch of sprouts. I'm gonna show you my
Uh,
sprouts.
and can I, if I could,
Yeah, go ahead,
real quick,
African.
yeah, y'all, Quita, you're 100% right because if you will look at, if you will take like Japanese culture, Korean culture, some of the East Asian countries, and even all the way over to the Philippines, bean sprouts are a very common part of the diet. But what these people also eat, oh, where Quita go? These people also eat a lot of meat. They eat a lot of deep, dark, leafy greens, but sprouts are almost in every dish, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those who eat that many. Most, oh, Urban, you got it going on.
So
You
that's
got it.
like a 3 day, 3 or 4 day mung beans, and these ones are
Mm,
further along. So
mm,
literally, and the girls eat. I'll eat it in front of you guys because
yeah,
you guys think, oh, she's lying. Just pull it out.
just like that.
Eat
Just
it.
like that. Yeah.
It has a little sweet. Oh, she left. She dropped off.
Yeah, I don't know
Laquita.
what happened. She dropped down. She dropped down.
Okay, let me put this back. But I'm telling you,
Yeah, them beans is
they're
what's
so
up, man. I
cheap
mean,
too.
especially the sprouts. Yeah. Yeah. And like Rooster said in the chat, I don't know if you saw it. I think you had gotten up. Um, they good for your digestive tract. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you have good gut health, it'll take care of a lot of things. I mean, again, YouTube, this is not a health recommendation, but in my opinion, having good digestive health is the foundation to a whole lot of things that come after that.
Digestive tract.
Would you
What if
agree,
you have
Slim?
a genetic disorder? I'm not sure, Joval, but I can look it up. I think the sprouts might be fine then, but again, I'm not this is not medical advice, but
Mm-hmm.
I would have to look it up. And I know from Dr. Gundry, he has the book and a whole science information about beans. He said you're supposed to pressure cook your beans. Um to get out the lectins and whatever. You soak them like we usually do. You soak the beans, you pour off that water, and then you cook them in a pressure cooker. That process, whatever it does, it lessens the problems that people have with beans. It takes out any of those built-in lectins and toxins that anti-nutrients, I guess he
Mm-hmm.
calls them. But you can check out
Right.
his he has like a YouTube video, he has podcast, and he goes through it in greater detail and explains it. But that possibly the way it's prepared can most likely affect that. Um, yeah, those sprouts are on a shelf in my living room under a grow light. I have 3 trays from Amazon,
That's what's
and
up.
basically every 3 days I start a new batch and I give them to the chickens. So today they'll get at lunch, they'll get a bunch of bean sprouts and whatever else because there's no plants out there for them to chew on like before. Swiss chard's gone, arugula's like it's too cold, so they're eating that. And I'm gonna try the lentils this week because Bull's Gardens does it with lentils. And as you know, lentils aren't expensive. You can
Nice.
buy a big old bag at the wholesale. Mung beans, same thing. They're not very popular in our culture, maybe Asian cultures, but I never had mung beans in my life. But I'm eating the sprouts. Put it
Yeah.
on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Put it in so you can scramble it in a stir fry, in a saute in a stir fry. It's literally
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Big Rooster. It's literally I bought a bag at the store. It wasn't cheap. I went to an expensive store. I was already there, so I bought it. I bought I think a 1 kilogram, maybe or so bag for six something dollars. I have not even halfway done the bag, and it's been since November, and I've made about 6 to 9 trays of bean sprouts. It doesn't take much. I use a
Wow.
half a cup on that tray, and half a cup is a bit too much because I like mine more spread out to get the airflow. But literally, just under half a cup of beans can fill a tray after you soak them overnight in a jar, and then it swells up, and then you put them down, and it's fine. So a little goes a long
That's
way,
crazy.
long way.
Yeah, I see.
And if
And
you
thank you
if
for showing
you
that.
go to the
That
animal
wow.
store, the feed store, and you get the barley or the oats, you can sprout that.
I saw the live of you did that. Is that the same live where you actually went in the store? You took us with you and you
Yeah,
were
I did. I
showing
went there for some
because you
feed,
said
but there's
yeah.
yeah, there's food there for people, but we don't. Our mind is just like wrapped around the grocery store. We got to go to Kroger's and get the stuff at Kroger's. No, you can go to the feed store. The same oats. Don't tell me them oats are different than those oats for the horses. It's the same damn oats.
Right.
Just the
It's the
packaging's
same
not as
oats.
pretty. Same damn oats. And if the oats are a little tougher, you cook
Yep.
them a little longer. Like you put them in the instant
Cook them.
pot. Like you're fine. It's fine.
Cook them longer. I see you,
Cook them
Wayne. I can
longer.
see the chat now. Yeah, you right, bro. Urban, with some of the things you talking about this morning, excuse me,
Oh, I know
I
he.
do worry
Yeah.
for myself because being a veteran, I spent so many. I've literally went through hundreds of thousands of rounds, especially as much time as I spent on the range. Um, it's some stuff that I try not to think about it too much. I just try to watch it, and that's what I'm gonna start encouraging other people to do. Don't freak out about it, because like early in the live, for y'all who wasn't here, Urban was talking about environment and health and this and different things that can come as a result of it. I've had so much lead exposure. I have loaded. I still dream about. Sometimes I smell carbon in my sleep because I spent
Wow.
so much time in situations and on the range and loading mags. I mean, just yeah, until I work my way up to have a detail to do it for me. And I wonder about how much lead I done been exposed to, because I mean, after a while, it's poor. You know, your fingers, the stuff, your skin is your biggest organ. It absorbs stuff, and that and just the exposure to it. And earlier you were talking about, as far as environment goes, you know, it's starting to be a thing with some of these drive-through workers as well. Every time they lean out that
Mm-hmm.
window, guess what they getting?
Fume. Yeah.
Exhaust fumes
Yeah.
all day, every day,
And when people and
for
when they wear
an eight
masks,
hour
people are like,
shift,
"Why are
10
you
hour
wearing a
shift.
mask? Free yourself." It's like, shut
Right,
up. You don't know what they're
right.
dealing with. They're dealing with a different situation than you're dealing with. They're sitting there all damn day, and trucks and
Mm-hmm.
stuff going through the drive-through, diesel, regular cars.
Yep.
Not everyone's has a
Yep.
Tesla, and they're going
Right.
through and idling
Right.
and revving up
Right.
their engines and those. So if they have to wear a mask, let them wear their
Mm-hmm.
damn mask and leave them alone.
There you go, sis. There you go.
I see. I realize now we don't know what people like. Not everything's a whole debate and a whole political things. They are exposed to a lot of fumes, and it's
Right.
better for them to put that something on their face because they got to go home at the end of the day to their kids and want to live
Mm-hmm.
a full and vibrant
Yep.
life. But yeah, we even at the when I was at the
Yep.
warehouse at work, same thing. The trucks are idling sometimes in the warehouse when they're not supposed to. Who
Mm-hmm.
you're breathing all that stuff? That diesel don't smell good. Being near an airport, same thing. All those fumes, and you don't realize until you're not there anymore. And
Yeah.
you're right. Those smells are like singe into your sinuses. Hey, this is Ghetto and the G Quad. Did I say hi to you, G Quad? I don't remember, but hello.
Hey,
And
Auntie Ellen.
Joe Boss
Hey,
thing is
hey, hey.
carbon monoxide exposure, and he said up earlier, petroleum and carbon monoxide exposure. But yeah, that exposure ain't no
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now,
Yeah.
since the whole pandemic, are continuing to wear a mask doing certain tasks because they realize, you know what, that helped me not to have to inhale lead and petroleum exposure, inhale all that stuff, and that dust is not no joke. So now that's what I do because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's on these surfaces sometimes in the warehouse. Like I don't know what's there. All kind of stuff is there, and you
Right.
can't trust that it's
Right.
not something
Right.
hazardous because they don't tell you.
Right.
They'll tell
And you
you
know,
after
Urban,
some kind
this
of. Mhm.
my
Go
sister,
ahead.
this is, I'm glad you said that, because this is something else that, like, in because okay, so back and again, I'm not trying to beat y'all in the head with in Africa, but you just knew to like wash everything, because most of it was outside. It may have just came off a tree or something, or just been picked.
Hmm.
You just automatically know to wash everything. And I didn't realize this until I got back. We're under the assumption over here is perceived as like being a germaphobe or being this or that. You just wash everything. We wash everything before we eat it, even if it's a quick rinse, or whether it's soaking it in
Hmm.
white vinegar for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. I don't live under the assumption that everything is just clean no more. I ain't nothing going. I ain't. It need to be washed before it go in my mouth.
Laquita, I
No,
dropped the
no
link
pun
again.
intended.
No, but we were talking about that on Sunday because I was talking to a lady at church because I'm like, she gets the eggs and like literally they're fighting over these damn eggs. I don't have enough chickens to supply all of their demands. Never mind my own demands of my own. That's the whole point, was to make sure that my family was set. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny because they're enjoying the product, which I don't mind. So I said to her, just to remind you, go, you're washing the eggs, right? Just because I don't wash them. I made that clear, but sometimes people, don't remember. Because I always wash my eggs, even the ones from the store, and people think I'm crazy, looking at me like, you wash them first? And I'm like, you don't know how many hands touch these things. I even used to wash the watermelon. People thought I was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I wash my melons. What do you see in the store now? Cantaloupe's getting recalled for salmonella. How the hell you get salmonella upon
Mm-hmm.
cantaloupe? I
Mm-hmm.
wash anything
Mm-hmm.
that came from that store, gets washed with soap and water. If I'm not eating
Yeah.
the skin, that is soap and water. If it's something that I can eat the skin, that's baking soda, vinegar, and maybe perox, whatever. But I use the damn dish soap and I wash that watermelon and that cantaloupe and that honeydew melon. That ain't eating,
Yep.
getting cut into without being properly washed. So I told you guys from last year, them recalls don't really concern me because I wash everything I can wash. Even the damn
You
chia
know,
seeds now, because there's a chia seed recall. And people were laughing. You're going to wash it? Yeah, I'm washing the chia seeds.
wow, we got to wash
They got
everything for real.
recalled too many times at Costco. You cannot eat nothing. You got to wash them all. Go
Mm.
ahead, Lakita.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? I came back to say goodbye because the kids are here. Um, like they're about to get out of their lesson. I came back to say goodbye. I came back to say thank you. And of course, Jay, I did hear what you were saying about the other countries. Like you're saying, this is why you said the other countries eat a lot of meat, but they're also eating what they really need. The green leafy vegetables, the
Mm-hmm.
fresh foods, and all of that. So this is why I tell people
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat animal products because of the health reasons, because I know of my living conditions, I know of my air and water conditions, and just like you're saying about washing all this stuff, right? We even when we're getting
Yeah.
the best things, quote unquote, organic from the grocery store, this clean place, we don't know how long this stuff been riding around on the truck. They say they'll pick the apples and they have them stored for 8, 9 months, which is why we always can have fresh apples, fresh potatoes, all the foods that we used to only eat in season. Like you were saying, Jay, how is it that I can eat a tomato and an avocado and I feel satisfied? It's not just a matter of fullness, but it's also that satisfaction they talk about that these ultra processed and sort of processed and all this food is not giving us because the nutrients aren't there and they've been pumped up and then
Right.
they got salmonella and all these other germs on them. But look, uh, I'm with you all. I love the conversation
Mhm.
about nothing because it's been the best conversation ever. And I gotta go back to lurking because yeah, these kids
Your
about to
kids
get
are
in the
coming. No
car.
problem.
hmm
Thank you
But
for
thank you,
coming through,
thank
Right.
though. I
you.
Thank you,
appreciate
Quita.
that.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being a man, standing up, and all the way. keep keep getting those folks. Keep letting them have it when they deserve it. Keep giving it to them. I have a saying. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but I think you might, Jay, and you too, Urban. I do unto others as they have done unto me. That's all. That's
Period.
all.
Don't
That's
start
it.
none, there
Period.
won't be none, right?
Boom.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all have a
I
y'all
love
have a
that.
good weekend. And
You
oh,
too. You too.
I did want to say one thing about the sprouts and the oats also. Kudos to you. That's beautiful. That's wonderful because we have people out here selling sprouts. And like you said, just use what you have. You can eat the beans. You can just soak them in water and eat them. You can soak them and sprout them. You can cook them in a soup. You can make them all different ways. But the point is, like you said, we have what we need, y'all. We don't have to go to all these different places and all these great lengths, and so it's great to be able to share with each other. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing now. I'm trying to practice those things so I can share them with others and they can see how easy it is. We don't have
Yes.
to run to this. We can take control of our food. But yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good
Mm-hmm.
weekend. Everybody take
You take care. I'll be in the bushes at your
care.
channel
All
You
too,
right.
as
too,
I
Laquita.
always. I
Yeah.
have to,
All
but
right.
Jay, I gotta tell you, you owed April a new sweater. That pink sweater and scarf has been stretched out. For Shamandre. The shoulders have been stretched. I said,
It-
get April a new pink sweater. You're the sweater. You're like, shut up. Shut up.
You know I barely got in
I
that
watched the
thing. You
replay.
know I
I was
barely got
I
in
just missed you, and I went back and watched the replay after Ken did her addressing. I'm like, oh Lord. So let me go back and but I was like, oh my God, I was laughing my head off because I missed that.
there. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my sister. I'm
Oh
glad
my
you enjoyed it. It's
God.
all in fun, man. We have funds over there at Torres
I'm
Brain.
telling
Yes,
you,
yes,
that
yes,
was
yes, yes,
we need a good laugh.
yes.
But yeah,
Urban,
the environment.
can I give you a quick plug, real
Yeah, yeah.
before you get back into it? I just want to say, man, y'all, if y'all haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit the like button. And if you ain't shared my sister out, man, it's Saturday morning. Please, 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 pretty please, share her out because she deserves it. These conversations are so necessary, and she bring it in a balanced yet opinionated, yet balanced, yet opinionated way. Because some of this stuff, some of us need to hear. We might be on the fence about it. We might be thinking
Yeah.
about it, but don't know how to say it. So, if nothing else, it can help you with your own articulation of how you want to present these considerations to other people. But for a live that's about nothing, like Quita said, it's a hell of a conversation. That's it. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Um yeah, we just gotta be mindful because it's not getting any better. It's getting significantly worse. Um Children really are not getting the lessons that we've learned because they're not getting the same experiences that we had, unfortunately. And we need to bring some of that back. And we don't have to, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be, it can be very simple. The choices that we're making, the food that
Yeah.
we're eating, it can be very simplified. Good morning, Blue Lotus. We just got to put the effort. We got to put the effort in. And I just going to the grocery store is like a stressful is becoming a stressful experience. And I just do what they say, keep on the perimeter. Just keep on the perimeter. Don't spend too much time in the inner aisles with packaged stuff. Fresh produce, vegetables, maybe some baked goods. You talked about the bread earlier. Yep, the bread. I have bread that sat here and it still hasn't turned brown, green or brown. What's in that damn bread?
Facts. Facts.
Like before, you had to eat bread within
These are
5
true.
days, and you would go to the store, and my
Mm-hmm.
mom would buy it on clearance in the night because the bakery would have everything half off every night. Then you would maybe freeze some of
Yep.
them, and then you'd have things moving
Yep.
quickly, not sitting there for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Hamburger buns and
Right.
hot dog buns, and literally nothing has gone green in the bread department. I had some cheese that went a
Mm-hmm.
bit green, but it took a long time for it to turn green. What what are we eating?
Mm-hmm.
And then we spend so much time and
Anti-aging.
money.
Anti.
I find it
Yep.
weird that we spend so much time and money buying the best for our pets and our animals, but then we put crap in our own bodies. Like, make it make sense.
Right.
Make it make
Right.
sense. Like the thought that I put into my chickens and what I'm feeding them, that I'm looking at myself, I'm like, I'm feeding them all this great stuff. Why am I eating this foolishness? Why am I going into like it didn't make any sense. I'm so particular about feeding my animals a certain way, but I have no control over what I'm eating. I don't have enough discipline to control what
Yep.
I'm eating. Something don't make sense, guys. So, and I watched a video this morning. This woman
Yep.
got told
Yep.
off for feeding her dog some kind of chicken bone, and that the people them are on her app behind about the chicken bone. What's wrong with the chicken
Mm-hmm.
bone? We give our animals bones in Jamaica, like, not fish bone, but
Urban
we give them all kind of
man,
something.
my,
What are you talking about?
my
Why
sister,
are we
look
having a
here.
whole protest thing
They
about
they
giving a dog corn? We give our dog corn
yes.
all the time.
The Urban, they say that, like, I understand because they can't splinter, but at the same time, like, it's kind of like what you said about your cat. Like, yeah, it's indoors so much, or some, many of us
Yeah,
have pets that are so indoors and not out and grounded. I get it. Chicken bones will splinter, but at the same time, baby, before humans came along and started helping dogs and domesticating them and breeding them to the way that they are now, they're organically wolves. They know how to eat what they need to eat. They know how to eat what they need to eat. They'll be okay. They'll survive. They'll be just fine. Believe me.
Like, I don't want to mock anybody
Jeez.
because I'll probably end up doing the same thing. But I see people out here brushing their dog's teeth and flossing for them and rubbing them down with coconut oil and I'm like, these dogs are looking real nice. I'm like, um, I need my dog to be rough and tough and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, like rough and tough. Like
Ur-
if somebody
Urban,
comes,
I got.
they rough and tough. Not
I
coconut
let her
oiled and
out this
massaged in and
morning.
soft and spoil up.
I know. I got a pit bull outside right now. She running around in the country. She in the wood. I never know which direction she gonna come from because I don't always know where she at. I can go out in the front yard and whistle 3 or 4 times, call her name, and she gonna come running. I don't know which direction she gonna come from because she out there doing everything from chasing squirrels to whatever. The only thing she don't do is go up to the road. She stay away from the road,
Yeah, because
which
they
is a
know.
good
Yeah,
thing.
they
But
know.
she'll
Don't be
go
going over there.
right. She'll go all out in the woods, and that's just what that's what I need. That's what I need. Now I've had
And
some.
they're
We
hunting.
had a
They're
dog
hunting
that.
for groundhogs. They sometimes come back with porcupine,
Yep.
sticks in their face because they got to, they went up the wrong tree. But the whole thing is like,
Yeah.
let them
Yeah.
be don't get me wrong, I'll probably spoil my pet too, but brushing their teeth, like, what am I doing brushing the damn dog's teeth? They're supposed to be like gangster. I just find
Every
it
dog got a
hilarious.
had breath stink.
But then we have the most cavities, so like make
All
it
that
make
breath.
sense. Why anyways. Hi, Texas
Yeah.
Lala. And Healy
Hey,
means
Lala, what's up?
let me see here what she said. If that chicken bone is outside, that dog is gonna find it. Exactly. So why are we the people that are cussing off the woman about the chicken bone? Worry about your own damn chick dog, man. Leave people
Mm-hmm.
alone. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rubbing, yeah, exactly. It must be nice. I think most humans want that kind of treatment. Massage me with coconut oil.
I know, right?
Oh
I
my
know, right?
goodness. Hold on. She said, I got yelled at that I feed my dogs this dog food that had corn as the first ingredient. I didn't know nothing about it till they explained it to me. Let me tell you something. In
That's
Jamaica,
crazy. That's
we
crazy.
feed our dog cornmeal, turn corn. Maybe you guys even call it grits. Maybe it's even grit like or polenta like. We cook
Mm-hmm.
down the cornmeal.
Mm-hmm.
You put some chicken foot in there, some gizzards and some liver in there, and whatever
Yeah.
other meat scraps you have in
Yep.
there, and you give them a whole
Yep.
mishmash of stuff. They eat cornmeal, so I don't know
Yep.
how they're talking about how it's a. What do you feed the dog? Meat every day, all day? If I can't afford to eat meat every day, all day, how the hell am I feeding a damn dog meat
Right.
every day, all day? They give the
Right.
dog chicken
Right.
breast and chicken. Listen
Right.
here, they'll get chicken back
Mm-hmm.
and some whatever. They didn't get no chicken breast. Let me tell you that right now. We fed our
At
dogs
all. At
oats.
all.
They got fed fruit. They ate fruit and vegetables as well. They hunted other things
Mm-hmm.
on the property. They ate, I don't know what they're talking about, that they only eat meat. If they were
Right.
in the wild right
Yeah.
now, how often do animals hunt and eat meat? Like, is it every day, every third day? It's not every day. It's not 3 meals a day, that's for sure. I can tell
Mm-hmm.
you that in the
Mm-hmm.
wild. I don't know who gave this rule that you have to give your animals only meat. I think they're kind of omnivorish. They're carnivores, but they do eat other things. I've seen a dog eat mangoes, eat naseberries, they love fruit. They love
Come
it.
on,
They
girl.
know when it's right before you
Psh,
know it's ripe. And they sit there and wait for
you
it to
better
fall off the tree.
talk
I'm
to him,
telling, so I don't
Urban.
know what.
Talk to him,
Oh,
Urban, because
I don't know. I don't even have a dog,
I'm gonna
but
tell
I
you.
know
So,
for a fact they don't eat meat all day, every day. And I know the
I'm gonna
dogs
say
back
this.
home, I mentioned
Yo,
this before, I'll mention it again now. The dogs would do something weird. And I had to get hey, I think it's Can't Stop. I think someone said hi to Hey, Can't Stop, if you're in here. I don't see you, but someone said hi to you. The
what's up?
dogs
Can't
need to do
stop. I see him.
something.
I see him.
Oh, you see, okay, do something weird. And I know what it is now. So when a cow had a calf and was the calf was drinking milk, the calf doo doo the dogs would eat, which makes no sense and it sounds gross. But if all the calf is drinking is milk, then pretty much their number two is mostly milk. And the dog knew when to stop. Once the calf got weaned, that behavior would stop. But they would always eat that fresh calf's number two. And when I asked somebody, they said there's milk in the number two, and sometimes even colostrum, that stuff that they get from their mother's milk. And the dog can smell it and knows it, and they eat it because they need it for themselves. And once the calf gets old enough or they get weaned, they don't do that anymore. They know exactly when to stop. But you're telling me that dogs
Look
don't
at
eat
that.
meat. I'm telling you, I didn't even know that was.
Look at that.
And I'm like, and they said when you sit down and you watch animals and you see these weird behavior, but you start to think about it and realize that's what they're doing. They want the colostrum, especially when the calf was the first 3 days. They were always doing that. And as
Mm-hmm.
soon as the calf would go, you hear the dog boom, 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 run down to, after, because the mother cow is very protective. And so they would wait till they move away and then boom, 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 run down the hill and go and get it and eat it. Not any of just the newborn, fresh 5-day puppy. Yeah. So I don't know what you guys are talking
Look
about.
at that.
Seen
And
it
to add to
firsthand.
what Urban said, I know everybody love Fluffy, and he or she is beautiful, and that's your baby. Check this out. You take that same dog that you done fed and pampered for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they whole life. Don't feed them for 2 or 3 days, or not even 2 or 3 days. Hell, you could have just fed them. Your beautiful little Fluffy take they behind out there and eat a whole bag of garbage. Or just go eat trash. They would tear open the trash bag and sniff through it and lick through it and eat through it. So it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Your dog gonna be okay. Your dog is gonna be all right. Now we've had a few dogs that April spoiled and babied, and we had one dog. She was so little because she shouldn't have been weaned off yet. She wasn't fully weaned. Her
Mm-hmm.
mama was sick, and when we had a chance to get her, we just had to get her. April fed her for a whole month from a bottle because she was so little. She would fit in the palm of your hand. April hand fed her. We went and like brought a baby bottle, and April fed her from a bottle for almost a full month. And that was the baby. She was a baby, but on the
Mm-hmm.
other side, we had a weird combination. We had a Lhasa Apso and we had a pit bull at the same time. So they made for strange bedfellows when they first kind of got together. But both of them was fine. They'll be all right.
Fine.
The dogs
My
will be
aunt
okay,
here never
y'all.
had a dog in her house ever. Never in the house in her life. That was foreign. No dog. The dog was never in her house. They had a house outside and they had a heated house outside at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "Oh my god, that's so cruel! Animal cruelty." What would they do if they were in the wild? Go live in front of your fireplace? That doesn't even happen. Like the dog was fine. The dog was never. The dog was more resilient because he was in his living as a dog. Now,
In his
she
element,
never had
yeah.
a dog in the house ever. She had lots of dogs, and they
Mm-hmm.
lived their full. They didn't have any illnesses. Only one she had to dispatch. I believe she had to dispatch one. Be- I think she dispatched him because he was attacking the sheep. And as you all know, you can't have your dogs attacking your livestock. You can't
Right,
trust them
right,
again. Once you get that
right.
that taste for blood,
They should be
I don't think she could
protective.
even give the dog away because the dog will
Yep.
just run back to the property and do the same thing. So I think there's about a couple over the years she had to dispatch, but that was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
They all lived outside. They all walked around the perimeter, guarded the property, guarded the animals. You know, it was just a thing. I don't know
Yeah.
why we make it
What's
like,
up, J3?
no, it has to be this way, it has to be that way. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Get a life. Go
Yeah.
get a hobby. Like, it's enough. This social media people have too many opinions. I have never heard anyone going. Okay, so we were talking about soil now. Yep, soil health is important. We gardening child, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't any longer use a lot of outside stuff. I am testing bone meal for the first time. I did a bit last year in a couple of pots, and I'm going to try it again just to test it. I don't need. I know I don't need it. Hey, Jegs, I know I don't need it, but I'm just testing out a theory. If it does help, then when I dispatch my animals, then I'll just dry the bones and grind them up. It's the same thing, but I think that getting things from a store is where people have the problem because you don't know where it really came from. But
Yep. Yep.
I think the principle of bone meal and
Yep.
blood meal, I think we can all agree if you're raising your own animals, it stands to reason that you'd put them back into the same land that they were raised on and repeat the cycle. We're going to go back to the
Absolutely.
land. So what's the difference? So, you know, same thing. That's the way I
Absolutely.
take it, and
Urban.
that's how I'm doing it. Go ahead, I cut you off.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
I was just saying I think the cycle of life is very clear, and we make it a bit more complicated than it has to be because we get emotionally attached to certain, I guess, concepts. I don't know. Hey, broke farmer, and it's like it's not that serious. It's we make it more
Exactly.
serious than
And
it
you,
has to be, and we mix up ideas and make it what it's not. So, for instance, people are against raising meat, and it's ruining the entire environment. It's because of that why the environment is all ruined, and emissions and gases is because of that, because of beef. No, I don't think it's that's the truth of the
right.
matter. I don't think it's accurate. I do think commercial farming is a big
Mm-hmm.
problem. Don't get me wrong. And I think commercial agriculture is a big problem. Yes. But to say
Yep. Yep.
beef is the problem and gardening is not, no, it's all a problem. And the problem is the way that we're doing it. We need to go back to regenerative farming and homesteading and animal husbandry. That's what I think. But they want to blame
Absolutely.
all of the emissions on the cow. Like, really? Miss me with that. That doesn't make no damn sense. If we ate
Yeah.
proper
That
food and in the proper proportions and not growing excessively to keep up with the demand that's not realistic, then I think that's the major part of the problem. That's what I think. I don't know what you guys think, but let me
eh,
know.
well, I'll tell you what I think, sis. I think you 100% right. There's no way that you had a couple hundred years ago, you had like 30 million buffalo out roaming, doing their thing, and minding their own business, and people still survive. And here I go again. Here I go again. But something that I learned when we lived in Africa is the whole concept and idea of everything you just explained is regenerative living. Man, half of these scraps gonna go to the chickens, and half of the scraps basically gonna be composted. Y'all, it ain't no 511, it ain't no this or that. And by the way, what's up,
Nope.
broke farmer? It was broke was in on the live last night that I had seen, and I was peeping game, and I wanted to come up, but I was a little busy, and we was having some internet issues because we had a rainstorm last night. But they was talking about soil and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look here: apple cores, banana peels, leftover stems of whatever, spinach, celery, whatever you got. Let that stuff break down a little bit, or just drop it in. Look,
Yep.
the people the area that we live in Africa, that you not finna run to your local big box store and get a whole bunch of whatever it is you looking for. You literally have to know how to use organic materials in order to resustain your soil. You should see. I got pictures.
Yep.
The crops are so beautiful. Everything is the only one thing I had problems growing while we were in Africa was strawberries. To this day, I don't know why. When we get back, I'm gonna try it again. But I have no idea
It could be the
what I
soil.
was
I'm
doing wrong.
thinking
I
I was
tried
because
shake.
you had mentioned that I think the soil, because I know for here it has to be loose and more loomy. I don't know how your soil is with a strawberry bed that is. I find when it's more loose and loomy and the roots can spread because they
Mm-hmm.
put out suckers like there's no tomorrow. It's better
Right,
once I made
right.
it more loose and loomy. Like take all my leaves, broke them down, and mixed it with the soil. Now they're like
Mm-hmm.
shooting off suckers like there's no tomorrow, except for the damn squirrel who dug up
Yeah,
my
that
one of
could
my
have been
beds.
my
But yeah,
issue.
soil,
Yeah,
definitely
my
the
soil
soil.
could have been too compacted. It could have been too
Yeah,
compacted, which I have a habit to do. And something I'm urban. I don't know why I do this. I'm working on it. When I
or
just
the
let rainy
variety Brooke
season
said,
take
or
its
the
course,
variety. Yeah,
or that could have been it too, or the
yeah.
variety. Broke Farmer is one of the people I reached out to. I think Broke Farmer and one or two other people. I know Hands in the Dirt and a few people I reached out to. Like, what am I doing wrong? I think now looking back on it, I think it was my soul. And
Mhm.
don't shame me for this. I have a tendency to overwater, especially stuff that I'm really passionate about. Like I'm ready to see some leaves, I'm ready to see some sprouts, I'm ready to see some flowers or
Who you
something.
telling?
I
I've been
have a tendency.
overwatering since the beginning of time. Who you telling? I thought that watering was love,
Okay.
and I was smothering it, smothering it, smothering. I'm gonna love you and hug you, and the root rot. I had to control myself and say, okay, I'm gonna water like once, like and have a schedule because I was notorious for overwatering, notorious.
I'm trying to do better,
So
but
yeah,
I'm yeah, it's still a thing for me.
yeah, because you want to give it what you think it needs, and you're just so excited, and then you're like, yeah, smothering it. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
got the same problem. It's not just you. It's hard to
Okay, I
determine
feel better.
what plants need what, and I keep it on a schedule to make it more consistent, and then you watch the leaves and just pay more attention. Um, yeah, Brooke said he's an overwaterer too. Yeah, it's very hard, especially when you have plants like my trees in containers and they're not in the ground naturally, and you're pushing. It's very difficult, but you have to just watch the leaves, watch the plant, and try to pay attention. But I
Yeah,
try to let the
that's all we
rainwater
can
do
do.
its thing and only water it as necessary. And I've had better results this year. Planter Garden was notorious for not watering nothing. He's like, plant deep and leave it alone. And it worked. When you plant things deep enough and force the roots to go down and find its own water, you have better results for sure.
I
I can
Yeah,
say
I've
that
seen
for
his lives
sure.
like that. Yeah. I mean some of his
Even in
videos,
containers.
he's notorious for that.
Yeah. And if you can grow food with less water, that's going to help us in the long run because water is a resource that's under attack for sure.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So it does, but it was hard. It was a hard pill to. I'm like, this man is crazy. This man is. How can you garden and not water? That's I was like, this man's talking foolishness, and he was laughing. I'm like, this man doesn't know what he's talking about. Something. Let me just go over there and listen. Let me just go there and listen and learn and see. And he was right. I go, you know what? I thought you were crazy. Thought you're a little bit off, but it does work. But he also
You
watches
know
his
what?
garden. He just leave it.
Right, Urban.
Yep.
You know, I tried that twice. I tried that twice with some peppers. Because I felt the same way you felt. I was like, what in the hell is Planter Garden talking about? This I can't plant this deep. You know what? It took like over a month for we did get some jalapenos from Hands in the Dirt, so I didn't do it with those. I did it with some regular like Scotch bonnets, and it took probably 3.5, almost a month for me to see uh any sprout, any leaves, anything, right? And I just thought it was game over. I watered them maybe once a week. I had enough discipline. I watered them once a week. And after a month, they finally broke through. And I was like, damn, man, I guess it worked, huh? It worked. But it take a lot of patience to take that route. Taking that
It,
method, it takes a
mhm.
lot of patience, baby.
It does. But I'm glad that I did it. I think it really pushed my gardening to another level. And
Mm-hmm.
it's same thing that Brooke was saying. Like he's like, are you like a Google gardener? Like you Google everything and look it up, or do you like do you believe everything on the internet? Like some things you got to try for yourself or ask other people because lived experience is
Yeah,
different than what you get on the internet, and that is the gospel
absolutely.
truth. Because they'll tell you some things and it's like,
Yes.
I don't have to do all that. Who's sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know what NPK was. I'm like, well, what are you guys talking about? NPK? Who cares? I still don't care. Do you think I'm sitting here analyzing my soil and measuring what nutrients it has? Half of y'all don't even get blood work on your own
Mm.
self. What am I doing blood work on the damn soil? It don't make no. You can do it. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying. I don't even do it on myself often enough. Am I going to go and analyze my soil? No. Look at it. Smell it. Does it smell that fungi smell? Do you see worm? Do you see life? That's all I need to worry about. If there's life,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I need to know. That means there's life in the soil. If it's a little less
Yep.
calcium, a
Yep.
little too much potassium, a little too much, I don't care. Put some banana, do your
Right.
natural organic matter, they'll figure it out. The same way how your body figures it
Absolutely.
out. And it rewires and
Yep.
reconfigures on autopilot without you getting involved. That's the way I it's great to
Mm-hmm.
have the knowledge. It's great to have the conversations when you're in certain groups, yes. But in terms of I don't need to know all that. My parents didn't know any of that,
Yeah.
and they grew more food than anybody else. My grand didn't know all
That's
that.
it.
They
That's
watched, they
it.
learned, they looked at the moon, the sun, they watched the shadow pat, like they
Mm-hmm.
watched stuff and observed. None of that
Urban,
stuff
I'm gonna
was
sound old for this. I'm gonna sound old for this, sister. But you know what I remember my big mama and them having when I was a little boy? There was no internet, right? At least not available to us. I don't know. Maybe if you were
mm-mm.
rich enough, you had the internet back in the 60s. A doggone almanac. An
Yep.
almanac
The
was
Farmer's
all they
Almanac.
had. Yeah. And that's what they used uh as far as planting and growing and doing it. And now that I'm back home and I've learned what I've learned and experienced what I've experienced, I feel
Hmm.
so it's like I don't know. I
And they didn't
really
even
can't
have they didn't even
explain
have
it.
the newest almanac. They had a almanac and had to like,
A
you
almanac.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
from like, when they first started, and then they had to like convert the dates to know, okay, what's gonna be in this time
Uh-huh.
and this year, the moon
Mm-hmm.
schedule and all the different, yeah. They had a almanac. They didn't buy one every and that's all you need to
At
know.
all.
Nature is connected
Yep.
and it works on its own. And that's all we need to know. The science is great.
That's
I
it.
love I love that part, but you don't need all that. You don't.
No, no, you don't. You don't. And we I think I don't know if you sense this. It's almost like collectively society is starting to turn back to a point where more and more people are starting to figure out like, hey man, I'm buying all this stuff, I'm doing all of it. That's one of the things Broke said on the live last night that I was kind of in and out of. Like, look here, I done spent so much money. Many of us have buying this and trying that when the the ability to do it. Like we gotta I put it like this, Urban. We have a ton of berries on our property here in East Texas. Ain't nobody never did nothing to them berries. I ain't never watered them. I haven't fed them. I ain't did nothing to the soil around them, none of that. And guess what? Every spring, every summer, we got a property full of blackberries and red berries, and we making berry pies and jam and all of that stuff. We ain't did nothing to try to take care. Nature will do what it needs to do. And something else that came up in the conversation last night that this is how a lot of people in Africa do it, and that's how we do it. Because for one, we can dig up worms when we go fishing.
Mhm.
Why don't people walk off in the timberline, walk off in the woods, off in the timberline, turn over that first layer of leaves and just dig up some of that dirt that's been there for forever? Just straight organic matter. It's full of earthworms, it's full of nutrients, it's full of everything you need, and mix that in with some of your soil. Cause I'm not finna be buying no
Some
whole
people are
bunch of
doing that. I'm seeing the older people that I'm watching, the mature, veterans, that's what they be doing.
mm-hmm.
They go to the tree
Mm-hmm.
line, they go get the leaves of the old dead trees that have broken down, and they're all dissolved up with bugs and stuff, and they mix that with their containers,
Yep.
they mix that in their beds. and that they dump old, they use their biochar, all that stuff they're using.
Uh-huh.
They're not up here
Yep.
promoting all these products and go to these box stores, and box store for what? That this is the problem. Again, my
For
opinion.
what?
We bring too much outside things into our soil in our garden, and it just ruins the whole balance and the ecosystem.
Yep.
We're so concerned
Yep.
about killing all the bad, quote unquote, bad bugs, that we bring on all these things into the garden, the containers, the beds, and then the balance is off, and then there's too much of the bad bugs. Then we start
Yep.
spraying and whatever, because if you did leave things alone, there's enough insect predators to keep things balanced. We go get involved and try to take over, and we make the whole thing worse. I saw squash
Throw
bugs.
it all
I
off.
saw the white butterflies. I saw all that in my garden. I left them alone. I took preventative measures with, like,
Mm-hmm.
a cloth or lace, a tulle, fabric, things like that. I didn't use any like sprays, netting, things like that. I used intercropping, marigolds, chives, green onions, stuff like that. But
Right.
I said, and I did it.
Right.
I didn't. I sprayed. I did use neem oil here and there, but that to me is natural. I did use baking
Mm-hmm.
soda and water for powdery mildew, but there was nothing else that I was using. There were some spider mites, but not as many as before. I had a lot of
Yeah.
flies because of the chicken manure, so that is a new problem I'll have to address with some like apple cider jars hanging around the place to kind of catch them. But you don't have to use, if you
Mm-hmm.
keep everything balanced as much as you can and only deal with the problems that need to really be addressed in a natural way, that's going to give you a better result in the long run. Once you start spraying this killer spray, that killer spray, and isolating only certain, I have left the wasps alone. They stop bothering me. They stay over where they're supposed to stay, and I leave the wasps alone because they
Yeah.
have a job to do.
Yeah. You
That's what
know
I'm
my
doing. Only
worst case.
problem is them damn tree rats, but they kind of slowing down now as well.
Hey, I know how to fix them. I was looking for them the last couple days. Them tree rats. Uh, put they little behinds in some
I
gravy.
think they heard you were
But
coming
you
and
know what?
and sent the warning out.
Hey, sis, I had my worst case of spider mites. For some reason, that's what turned me off. I haven't tried to grow asparagus in probably 4, 5 years. When I say I had the worst case of spider mites, it's always with asparagus. I don't know if it comes in. Now I will say this: I never tried from seed. I've only grown from bulb, and uh, I was it? Hold on, was it? Did I grow asparagus from? I was sharing containers. That may have been a problem. But I had the worst
Okay.
doggone case of spider mites. I love asparagus. I like it with my steak. Sometimes I could
Hmm.
just eat asparagus and potatoes alone. But that is the only thing that I've grown where I've had consistent infestations. Is why is that? Or do you even know?
I don't even know, but you see, when I get problems like that, I start to like research and dig deeper and ask exactly, because if it's an isolated crop and an isolated area, I start to just sit down
Mm-hmm.
and observe and figure it out, because that's the point. At least I don't have a problem in the overall garden, but how can I fix
Right.
this isolated problem? Can I see you, sir, in the background, just to make sure it's you? You don't have to keep your camera on, but let me make sure it's you. Roke, Roke Farmer. Okay, you can turn it off if you want now. You can turn it off if you want. I'll bring you up just now. Okay,
All
to
right,
make
I'm
sure
gonna
it's
leave
you.
it on. No,
Okay.
I was headed to do some business, but I'm like Candyman. You start talking about gardening and soil, and I pop up. You say soil 3 times. I'm coming to see what's up. Nah,
Yeah,
Urban and African Dream. I love these conversations, man. I love how people do business in their garden. I don't care if it ain't nothing how I do it. I can learn something from everybody. So
Yes, sir.
it does my heart good. My heart just flutter a little bit. Y'all start talking about soil and compost and that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Urban,
I'm
come on,
telling you.
baby.
That's life. I'm telling you. I went up this morning to dump the bucket of chicken manure. I usually dump it up in the compost bin or in the run. But I said, okay, it's getting moist outside. Like it's cold, but it's moist. So I don't want too much heat coming off the ground for the chickens because it might be too, I don't want them to get like foot problems. So I put it back up on top of the hill. When I went in the hill and I'm poking it with a stick, you can see all of it like breaking down the shavings and the manure. And I'm like, I can't wait till spring to put this manure into the pots and the beds. I'm like, yes.
I'm so glad there's more
Who
weirdos
thought
like me.
shit would be so
So glad.
exciting, eh? Chicken shit would be so exciting, but it's so exciting.
Matter of fact,
Literally.
I'm going by a buddy house in a little while to help him shovel some so I can have some.
I'm telling
But
you, it's great. I'm like, yeah, hey, country hustle.
this the thing, man, that people, and like I said before, I ain't knocking nobody how they do business. I would never do that. But it's so many practices that work better and are free that I don't understand why you would do it any other way. If you know somebody that got chickens or horses or um, cows, goats, rabbits, whatever, if you, and it's not a 1 year thing or a 2 year thing, it's to build
Hmm.
soil over time. If that
Yes,
soil gets good enough in about 4 or 5 years, you add all this great organic matter, you back can stop fertilizer. And I know some people
Yep.
ain't gonna like that,
Yep.
but I mean, my first year gardening, man, I was buying some. If I saw it on your channel, I bought it. If you had a nice garden, I bought it. The, the only
Yeah.
thing that I'm almost willing to buy is worm castings. That's it. Worm castings work just like a lot of this other stuff work, but azomite
hmm,
rock does, bone meal, fish meal, blood meal, cottonseed,
hmm.
some of this other stuff. Dude, I'm not buying this stuff. That's all need organic matter.
Yeah.
Anything organic matter is
Facts.
defined by anything that was once living that is now
It's gonna break down. Yeah,
breakdown. That's
Yep.
you, me, African dreaming,
yeah. Your
uh,
dog, your dog. Your
leaves,
cat.
trees, all that stuff break down. And that's what soil really wants. What people don't understand is plants can only uptake so much stuff. So once you put in a pound of 12, 15, 19 in your soil, and your plant ain't uptaking all this stuff. Your plant,
No,
by definition, needs 16 nutrients. A lot of people think NPK is all your plants need, but the earth provides a lot of the other nutrients. So
correct.
you,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know how much nitrogen your plant needs? You feed nitrogen in your
That's what
plant
I
every
said.
week.
Facts.
You don't know because you're not taking no blood test, no chlorophyll test. You're not taking, let me take a blood test from the plant and see. No one's doing none of that. It's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I and this the thing that I think y'all know turf therapy. He's really
Of course.
into
Yep. Yep.
soil science. Him and Farmer
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I was taking the master gardening class, I got free soil samples to get my soil tested. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So I got soil out of 7 random spots in my garden, and I sent soil samples. Do you know what my soil needed? Nothing.
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 I was
Nothing.
gonna say
Nothing.
water.
Wow.
Water.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna
All
say.
my
Urban water. Water.
Yeah, all my soil level. And dude, I don't I hadn't did nothing. I just was just really getting into gardening. So
Hmm.
if the scientists say my soil is okay, bro, why am I putting all this stuff in the ground? That's why I got away from containers and started growing straight in the ground.
Hmm.
Everything, all my level good on the ground, but I'm gonna keep putting nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. No, I'm not
And then
finna keep spending all this money.
this goes into the
Hey,
waterways. All
urban.
this excessive stuff goes into the waterways and the
Fact.
water
Yes.
table. And this is the problem. Like we're messing it up fixing one problem, but messing up five other things on the side by adding excessive stuff into the
That's it.
soil. It's not necessary. And then the rain's supposed to give us back
Eh,
the nutrients that have been evaporated up into the sky and rain it back down into the ground. It's supposed to be a cycle. and we're interfering with the cycle because we know
Absolutely.
more, sarcasm, and we don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Urban. Urban, I gotta say this to broke while he up here. So last night when you said your grandma and you was talking about them fish heads and them fish guts and everything and freezing them, man, I could literally see me and my big mama. Cause my big mama come back for fish. I always wanted to help her. She would never let me touch the knife because I was a little boy. Man, bro, she would do the exact same thing. She would freeze some of them and then she'd set them in a bucket and throw them out. If she didn't use some of them right away, bro,
Right.
y'all, that's how you survive for real. Now, I know it sounds I don't I don't even know how to put it because it's like you're not being open-minded to some people if you don't want to try this and do that. But I'm a very
Mm-hmm.
simple
Mm-hmm.
man. If something ain't broke, I don't believe
Don't
in
no.
fixing it. If it
Mm-mm.
ain't broke, I don't believe in fixing it, man. So like the and I'm gonna be and here I go again for probably the sixth or seventh time in this live alone. I'm telling y'all, baby, over in Africa, it wasn't no big box stores. You're not finna go get no
Right.
MPK, no 511, no none of that. Man, folks use sometimes it was dry fish, some that may be ground. Sometimes, as far as
Mm-hmm.
bone meal go, I found out later on that it was somebody already doing that I just didn't know about. I was literally just breaking up bones and smashing them as best as I could
Ooh.
and putting them in with my little compost. And guess what? If you once they get moist, them bones it take a while, but in about a month and a half, 2 months, they'll get real soft. So they breaking down. Man, you better take that stuff and put it out there and just let nature work its course.
And,
That, that
and I'm
that's
gonna
that's it. It really ain't hard.
I'm gonna make
No.
it simpler. Now, y'all know how the admiration I have for Popeye's chicken. Now, what I'm planning on doing. Now, my wife is from the country, so when she get finished with a chicken bone, oh, it's clean. Do you hear me where I'm coming from? So
Clean,
going
clean.
forward, I will be planting, and I'm saying this right. Y'all can think I'm crazy if y'all want. If the gristle and everything off the ends of the chicken, I'm planting those chicken
Mm-hmm.
bones in my garden. That's
Why not?
going
Why
Why
forward.
not?
not?
I'm not breaking them up.
Look,
I'm
I'm
not
not
grinding.
planting Popeye's chicken, but I'll plant my
Shoot.
own chicken. But yeah, I'm all for that. Yes.
No, I'm playing Popeye too, man.
No,
All
no.
of it.
Popeye can keep that. That going in the garbage. I'll plant my own chicken that
It,
I know
What?
from beginning to
Well, to
end.
each his own. But I can't knock Popeyes and say I
broke
can't plant
taking
it. I'm
chances.
eating it all the time.
Well, you're right. If you're eating it, then you might as well because you'll be eating it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. No, I'm trying to
And
come off of the commercial meat system and in general anyways. That's just my
yeah.
preference. So whatever I'm buying from a farmer, yeah, that's going right into the garden. I got a source for chicken and I got a source for beef. So anything from those animals that I purchase and I'm eating and it's leftover, yes, that can go in my garden cuz I know how they raise those animals. But like just, anything else, nah.
And if you unsure where to find local people that do that, go to farmish.com and you can type in your zip code and it'll show all the farmers that raise cattle, beef, and chicken, milk, and all that that's close to you. So
Farmish.com.
Farmish.com.
Let's
Okay.
type in
yeah.
chat.
So it's just another resource
Type
for
in the
people
Yeah.
chat.
that trying to do like you or urban, that trying to get away from the commercial
Oh
stuff.
my goodness.
And most of
Yeah.
them stay down the street from you,
Mm-hmm.
especially where I live at.
Mm-hmm.
He you better go over there and start getting that stuff about Popeye's chicken.
Now, unless these farmers start frying it up in Popeye's secret battle, I'm just gonna give y'all some good information. I ain't got to take all the good information. Hey, Jay, hey, some of the information ain't for me. I, I'm just saying.
I'll have
I
to, yeah, but
I
I'm
bro.
telling you, everything should be more. I've looked at my garden this year. Like I sat back and I analyzed 2023 and all the quote unquote problems that in like spider mites. Oh, hey, spider mites. The white caterpillar. They were still there, but they were much more balanced. I
But
stopped bringing all this external crap
Mm-hmm.
from the stores into my garden and let the predators and stuff balance themselves out,
There you
and just
go.
keep an eye on things, space things out accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put a match and burn something needs to be burned. Certain cuttings I had to burn them because I couldn't put that back into the compost to recontaminate. But there's things that you
Right.
do, but nothing involved chemicals, spraying anything from no
But
chemical, nothing like that. And it
it's
involved me. I didn't kill it. I didn't kill anything. I didn't kill didn't kill nothing. They're all there in their own balance.
but it's supposed to be there. But that's what people don't
That's
understand.
what I'm saying. Spider
Supposed
mites
to.
have I don't
Yep.
know what they're supposed to be doing, but I can't be going out there killing everything and burnt. Oh, I don't like that. Let me get rid of them. Everything has its own balance. I
They're
gotta leave it
composters.
alone.
Well,
If your plant leaves dying,
Yep.
those things come up because they're natural composters. They break it down, it drops to the soil,
Hey,
and it
Sassy.
becomes organic matter. What's up, J3? My bad. I ain't mean
I'm
to.
guilty
Mhm.
then, because I'm guilty because if you saw a video, I had some
What's up,
caterpillars
J3?
in my apple tree, and I most
Mhm.
definitely burned them all up.
Now, fruit trees are different, in my opinion. Like, what do you guys think? I know some of y'all had a problem
I-
with worms like actually crawling into the stems of the tree, like they were actually
right.
infiltrating the trees. I think
But
Brooke had
those
that problem too. I think you had
Japanese beetles, but that's different. They're not native. Those bugs aren't native to where I live at. Japanese beetles
okay.
aren't for here. So that's something you should if it's a non-native predator in your garden, yes, you need to get rid of those.
Get it.
But most
Get
things
it.
like hornworms, spider mites, those are natural things to just about where everybody
Mhm.
live at.
Right.
But Japanese beetles, no.
Yep.
They came in on a plane over here, or something. I don't know what the hell.
Or a boat. Yeah, those cargo
They were
ships
sent
too.
with a mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then you can
Yeah.
easily. First off, I'm gonna say this, but don't nobody get mad at me. We got to stop being dumb with a smartphone in our pocket. If any bug you see in your
Oh,
garden,
yeah.
Google
Yeah.
it and
Google
see if it's native to where you live at. If it's not, you might have to take more drastic measures to make sure you eradicate them altogether. But like Urban
Mhm.
said, if it's native to where you live at, it's a native bug that eats off that. It's a balance. And first
Right.
off, why y'all want all these pretty greens? If ain't no bug eating these goddamn collard greens, I don't want them eat them either.
Nope.
I won't.
Nope. Nope.
I
Nope.
won't.
Nope.
I
Facts.
gotta at least see
Facts.
some.
Facts.
Facts.
I gotta see some holes in there.
Yes.
Some holes. Yeah.
Are
Because you know
yo,
it's good stuff. You
Yep.
know it's good stuff if they're eating it.
and the holes in your greens, that way
Yep.
you put the seasoning in it. You put in the hole. You put the seasoning right in there.
Hey,
Right
they
in
don't
there.
stay that. They don't stay that whole, man. We cut them up. They don't stay whole like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
And
like,
then part of my solution, I don't know what you guys do, is that I'm not going to be planting the same things every year. Like if I planted a certain like if I planted green zucchini this year, then next year I'll try a different zucchini, but it's still zucchini. Like not the exact same thing where the exact same bugs are going to be coming back in the exact same spots. Like I move things around in different spots as well, but I'm not going to grow the same things year after year to kind of shake things up a bit for the bugs so they don't know what's coming or
And the
going.
soul.
Well, I,
And the soil,
the
yeah.
soil. Yep.
I plant the same thing. If my family eats it and I eat it, I will plant the same thing. I
but you
just
don't
don't
plant in the same place though.
I don't plant it in the same
You
place.
rotate it out, don't
Right.
you?
Okay,
I
good.
rotate.
Yeah.
And
And that's
Okay.
I wanted to come up early when y'all was talking about the
Rotate it.
soil.
Go ahead. Bring it up now. We don't mind.
About the dirt.
The dirt.
why you gotta say that? Because I'm up here, J3.
People have a fight over dirt, and so no, it's dirt, no, it's soil, whatever. The brown
hey.
stuff.
Look,
It's just when we talk about the dirt, I don't know. I guess soil is a sophisticated word for dirt.
no.
Yeah. Some people say that dirt's not soil. Dirt has no life. I'm like, who cares? You know what
There
people
you go.
mean. They're from different parts of the globe. They say
Right.
dirt, and it's the same
But
crap, different name.
But
it
J3
does
knows
survive
better.
life. Life does survive in it. But
Right.
now, I was when you was talking about getting the stuff out the forest and all that stuff and put it over there.
Yeah.
One way that you find out that you got good dirt, if your dirt is constantly growing weeds,
It's good dirt.
wild trees, if it's constantly growing all this
Yeah.
stuff, you got good dirt. You
And
just got to
that's
take
true.
Y'all
and
know
you got to take and give it a shave and square it away to where you want to get it. But if you constantly now, this is just if you got a patch, it's all green. Then on the other side, you got a spot where it seems like nothing want to grow. But if wild grass is constantly growing in your yard, you got some good dirt. You just got to work with it.
I well,
And
well,
stop
well.
putting off.
I'm gonna say. After Broke took that. Once Broke became a master gardener, that's when he distinguished uh dirt and soil.
Dirt from
But
soil.
Mhm,
prior to that,
mhm.
yeah, he was in the
Right,
dirt with the rest
right.
of us. He was in the dirt with the rest of us. But
I was in the dirt with you,
I'm
Jay.
just messing with Broke. I'm just messing with Broke.
Oh, you dead?
I'm messing
Hey,
with
you
Broke.
right. You hit the nail right on the head.
and,
So
and
regenerative Wayne is confirming that crop rotation is a
right.
must for maintaining soil health. So
And
that's what I'm going to be doing. Crop
I'm gonna
Yep.
tell you
rotation, and
another
some things
reason.
I'm going to rotate out every other year. Like I don't
Another
need green zucchini every year.
another
Like,
reason
oh,
my
hold on.
dirt
Hey, okay, I'll bring you up, Miss Shirley. You can turn off your
another
camera if you want.
another reason my dirt out here is so good because all over my backyard I got chickenberry, I got squirrelberry, I got goat parts berry, and gonna have some sheep parts buried back there.
Yeah.
Dog parts,
Mm-hmm.
everything get buried in my back. I don't haul it off. I find me a spot and I bury it. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I put
Good morning,
everything I
everybody in the
bought,
chat.
whatever, I put it in the dirt on my property, and hey, it benefits me.
That's the way it should be. You know how much it costs to bury a damn animal? When I heard the price for the damn cat, I
For
said,
real.
no. You coming home to die. We bring you coming home to die because I ain't spending no three,
You
four hundred
dying right
dollars
here.
just to put you down. Hell no.
That's it.
Yeah.
They all in the back. They all in the
Now, I
garden.
just wanted to say that all of you guys, I hear you in regards to improvement in your soil. I was calling it dirt for a long time too. But um I came from an era where half the stuff you're talking about didn't exist, or only certain rich people might been able to acquire. You know, we didn't have all that stuff. We used plain old lime. We
Mm-hmm.
used fish heads from the fish market. My
Yep.
grandmother would collect, and she would have a corner in the back of the garden where she just throw all the debris that died off.
Mhm.
That was back in the corner until it got, till it broke down, and then she would take it and sprinkle it because she had the most beautiful roses you ever wanted to see. And we didn't have any soil testing where you could take a sample from the front and the back to find out whether or not your soil needed potassium or whether it needed some more nitrogen or whatever, that your soil,
Nope.
you felt that might been depleted from your soil. She just kept adding the same stuff from the
That's
house
it. That's
and
it.
Compost.
organic, and just kept building the soil up every year. So to listen to people now talking about, I need to get bone meal and blood meal and worm castings and this, that, and the third. I was like, no, that didn't exist back in the day. Because even when we went fishing, we went back there and hit that corner by the compost pile, and they had them night crawlers as big
That's
as
it.
snakes.
That's it.
And we would
That's
grab them
worm
and take
compost.
them and go fishing with. We didn't buy no crayfish and all that other stuff. You bought you some big fat juicy worms. And
that
we learned as kids
that's
though
what we
throwing
did.
pickles in the water, they like
Oh,
pickles. But other than that, it's the same thing.
but
That's exactly what
the
we need to go
worm
back
casting
to.
in all
Go
honesty
ahead.
is what you already had back then. Because if you dug
Yeah.
worms out the backyard, it left
Yeah.
worm casting. But worm casting is
Yeah.
essential, but we just don't have the amount of worms that everybody had back then because of all the stuff we do now. So
Yeah, we're killing them off with all this adding these third party stuff,
That's
and
it.
that's why we have to go buy worm and have vermiculture bins. Well, there was no vermiculture bin.
I'd rather
The
just
worms are all up in the garden.
yeah.
You would go plant a flower, and then you would hit 10 worms. That's how it was when we were coming up. You would go and plant a flower in the garden, any which spot, and 10 worms. You'd be disturbing how many worms and earwigs and all kind of stuff. Now you
That's
go
it.
into the ground. It's almost sterile in some people's gardens. There's nothing
We
there.
used to go in the woods and dig worms to go fishing. We never
Yeah,
bought worms growing up.
no,
Never.
Yeah.
Right.
nope. Nope.
That's what we did. Hey,
And
Walmart was
we did.
literally brand new. I'm sorry, Urban. Wally World. Wally World was
Yeah.
brand new when I was a little boy. Wally World was probably about, hell, I came along before Wally World. It wasn't no going about, no, baby, you go out to the wood. My big mama did it. My papa did it before he passed. You go out in the woods, you turn over some leaves, you see all that, and you could tell right where the worm bed
That's
was
it.
because it didn't look like the rest of the dirt. It was
That's
kind of a
it.
Right.
little round. It almost looked like real small little pebbles. And you just get in
Facts.
there, and you ain't even have to take a shovel. You just take your hand and scrape through it, and it'll
Ooh, boy,
start coming up.
That's
And
it.
then
That's it.
that's how you finna go fishing,
And
baby.
and,
You hear
and,
me?
and,
That's
and another part to that is with my grandmother and stuff, she washed dishes and that little soapy, dirty water that she had in the sink. She'd take a cup of that and she'd go out there and a little area where it's been covered with leaves or whatever. She'll move the leaves, she'll pour that water on the ground, and we start picking up worms.
Yeah, and then come to the surface.
That's
Yeah.
it. We start picking up worms.
hold
Let me
on.
tell you something else we
Okay.
used to
I see
do.
them
When my
now.
dad used to take us fishing when we were kids, and when you go to the bait shop, they had them red wigglers.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get those and start a compost pile with it. All that we didn't use in fishing, he threw it in the corner in the back. And like you said, you got your worm castings.
Yep. But
If you
eh, eh,
look at what people eat nowadays, like we talk about kitchen scraps, what can a modern family put in the compost? Because all they're eating is these frozen packaged, pizza pops and pizza pocket. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't compost that crap.
I wouldn't compost
So
nothing that you cook. I mean, nothing that's been cooked. I don't
right.
believe in composting meat and bread. And some people say it's fine. It's just personal thing.
I don't.
Fruit,
That's chicken feed
fruits
for
and
me. I don't
vegetables,
No.
great.
compost that either.
That's it.
Not
Most of the
regular
stuff they
meat.
use is
Not regular
microwave.
meat, but
Yeah.
fish, yes.
Fish, yes, yeah, fish. Uncooked
Yeah,
fish,
I don't do
uncooked
meat
fish.
either.
Right.
I don't do meat
Well,
either.
I've done used the sardine too,
I
long as it
agree.
was in
I
water.
agree.
Long as it's in water.
But
Not
a lot of
oil.
these kids don't eat vegetables nowadays, and
They
they haven't
don't.
really been introduced to them. If the parents don't eat them, the kids don't eat them.
True.
Fact,
True.
fact.
Yeah. So when you
And
look at what people can compost nowadays, there's nothing for them to really like. If they're not eating properly, there's nothing for them to compost.
but yeah, it
No,
is.
nothing.
It
What?
grass. As long as you ain't putting stuff on your grass. And first off, grass don't need your goddamn help to grow. Let's start there. Why is we putting all this mess on this grass? Dude,
That's a
I've
fact.
never had a problem growing grass. I am a grass growing genius. You hear what I'm saying? Cut the grass up, put it in your compost.
That's
That's
real.
That's it.
everybody got grass.
And let me tell you what I did, bro. There's one corner in my backyard that was hard pan clay. I mean, it was so clayish that when it rained, it would take almost a week for the water to go down. So what I did was I started collecting my neighbors' clippings off their curb. I would take my little wagon and I
Mhm.
have a box and I would take their grass clippings. And if they had leaves mixed in with it, I take it all back there and I dump it on top of that clay. And then come springtime, you can literally take your hand and go down in it and pull it out because the worms had dug tunnels through the
Yeah.
clay
Yes.
to get
Mm-hmm.
to the matter, and they was bringing it back down through those holes. And
Yep.
not only did it improve the drainage, it broke up all that
Yep.
clay.
Yep.
And
That's it.
clay
Yep.
got a lot of minerals and stuff in it.
It
Yes, it
does.
And when
does.
you add the compost to it, it just made it like pure gold, And when I started putting that combination of that clay and all that stuff, it broke up. Boy, my garden was taking. It was scaring. I had what was that? Cantaloupe that I had some seeds I threw in a compost pile. And I had thrown some of that compost, the extra compost in there. It looked like Seymour. It was taking over the backyard. It got so big and it was so healthy. And those was the sweetest cantaloupes I ever ate in my life. So
Hey,
yeah, a lot of people just don't know that their backyard is a natural compost pile if you just know what to do with what you got.
That's
you
it.
ain't got to know what to do. Just
Yep.
throw it back there. Let Mother Nature do it. Why we got to know how to do
They'll figure
everything?
it.
You,
Just
you,
throw it
you,
out.
We don't.
you know
We
what?
don't.
No, but a lot of people will put that in a bag and sit it on the curb on refuge day. That's what I meant by that, bro. Not that, you didn't have to know, but a lot of people won't keep that stuff. They'll bag it up and sit it on the curb because they said it looks messy.
That's what
Matter of
he's
fact,
saying. Like people we think too much as gardeners.
yeah,
Not
I'm
us on the panel, but we think too much.
I'm finna go down the street because I saw some guys down there raking up leaves. I'm finna go holler at them. Look, man, I'm driving my truck today, and all the bag leaves y'all put on the side of the road with the
You're
big
picking them
orange
up. That's
strip
what I
on the
do now
front.
too.
Those bags are
That's what I do now.
biodegradable. That's
Yeah.
paper
Yeah.
bag. It breaks down. Y'all first off, thank all y'all from all the gardeners for helping us out. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all ain't gonna
Yeah.
do nothing with it. Y'all put it out there for us. We come get it.
And we
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
That's
pick it
it.
up. We
That's
just
it.
pick it right up.
Fact.
I
I'm
want my
telling you, that's
yard
what I be
clean. I
doing.
want all these leaves out my yard. And I ain't gonna try to farm or garden or nothing. We just want to get it out the way.
That's cool. Thank you.
That's
Thank
good. I
y'all.
don't mind. I pick them
I
right
ain't
up and
mind
bring them
keeping
to
them up.
my That's chicken bedding for me now too. I ain't buying
Yeah,
no
you're right.
shavings. All them leaves are chicken bedding.
That's what
I
I
got a
did with
And they
that.
bag
and then the girls
of
break it
chicken
down for
bedding
me. And there you
at
go.
the side door. My
I
nephew cleaned out his chicken bins, and I got a bag. He already didn't text me, said, "Auntie, you got a bag of bedding at the side door." I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
That's
But
what we be,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get back to something. But now, last year I had a simple gardening plan: compost with the regular soil I had, and I did fertilizing probably every 2 weeks. I wanted to do it every week, but I didn't keep up with that crap.
Mhm.
All right, I had my best gardening year ever. I grew all kind of zucchinis, probably 25 watermelon. I got fruit. It was a wonderful year. I had none of that extra stuff in there. Compost and fertilizer. That's it. Nothing
Yep.
else.
That's what I'm doing. Leaves. Good old
Mm.
leaves.
That's it.
But
And
now
now I
I
have
did.
chicken manure for the first time for 2024. We'll see how that goes. But
I
nothing
do have
else.
alfalfa pellets, and going forward, that would be my fertilizer. I could buy alfalfa pellets, 40-pound bag for $26. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
at the
buying no
feed
more
store. I'm
goddamn
telling you.
fertilizer.
I got a bag at the
No,
garage right now. I'm telling you.
I'll never buy no more fertilizer when I find that. Thank you, Jesus.
I
Hear
just
me.
heard about that the other day when y'all was talking hands in the dirt and stuff talking about the pellet. I said, dog, I feed that to the goats.
Yeah,
Exactly. You got go
I think I
exactly.
saw that was growing out the
Put
box.
that in there. Put that in the thing. You're actually you don't need to use that jegs. Use their manure because it's already in the manure.
Yes,
So
yes.
you don't need to
I
use
got a
pellets.
I got a
Yep.
25-gallon barrel out there now, still full of goat manure.
There
I'm
you
drop
go.
my camera because I'm gonna ride with y'all, but I'm finna
Yeah,
go check
no
on this
problem.
lead. I ain't playing. But
But because
yeah, I'm
and
still here.
I soak the alfalfa pellets in a little bit of water now. Let the chickens eat them because they don't like them when they're so big and tough. And then they're pooping them out. So
Right.
next year I want to have some potent manure with the
And
shavings breaking down.
Ur- Urban.
I,
Urban, what was that? You asked a question the other day. I'm sorry, J3, but
go
Urban,
ahead.
you had asked a question in another live about the chickens and molting and stuff. Um, Now I really don't, and I'm glad you brought that back up about the chickens because I don't know if. Hey, Miss Shirley. Hey, GT. By the way, I ain't speak. Um,
Yeah, you know.
how
What's up,
how is
y'all?
how's that how's that going? For one, and for
So
two, now
mhm.
we had several chickens that molted and they kept molting, and we did everything we could, but we didn't have access to a lot of the other resources, and over time, uh, they just got better. They just got better. I don't. We didn't do nothing in particular. We kept feeding them the same way.
Mhm.
We gave them a little bit more of them dried fish, and outside of that, that was it. See.
Now,
I have 6 chickens. 2 of them are barred rocks, which is the black and white ones. The
mhm.
other 2 are black sexlings.
Mm-hmm.
Other 2 are red sexlings. They're the red and the black ones are fine. They did their molting, but they didn't molt as bad as the barred rocks. It's now December. Like winter is it's been very mild, mind you, but winter is here. And I'm looking at her whole booty and her whole booty is like literally out the door.
Now you know
There's no feathers back there.
now you know what I did with that urban when mine bar rock they molt it like that. The only thing I did, I keep feeding the way I did, but I took me some DE and I sprinkled it all over their butt, and I left them alone.
Oh,
Okay. I
diatomaceous
didn't.
earth.
Yeah, I
Tenacious
didn't
earth.
sprinkle her yet because though the two barred rocks are the two most anti, so they don't like when I go near them. So I'm gonna have to grab her up at night and then just sprinkle her up in when I at nighttime. But I wasn't sure if it was a parasite or a bug or some kind of work. I'm like, I hope it's none of that. And I literally heard her fart the other day. I was putting out some bean sprouts and I heard a and I'm like, did the chicken just fart? And then she did fart. I was like,
I don't know
wow.
what it sounds like when a chicken fart.
They sound
Yeah,
like a
neither.
child when they
Is it
fart and then
loud?
they say, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't fart." Like a little kid, and I'm like, "You little," and I'm like, "Okay, is she okay? Does she have like a diarrhea or something?" So it could be something maybe inside. I'm not sure. I don't want to over analyze it, but her feathers aren't coming back in her butt. I don't want them to start pecking at her because it's right there in their face, and it's December. She should have had the regrowth long time ago. And from October, I've been giving them the higher protein food with the molting season. So she's getting more protein. I'm giving them alfalfa, bean sprouts, quinoa, chia seeds, oatmeal, mealy bugs. They're getting even chicken and sardines, whatever leftover meat I get from like they're
Mhm.
eating good. So I thought her
Right.
feathers would have grown back by
Right.
now.
Eating like that
But
at
the
the
two
kitchen
barred
table.
rocks look like their weave fell off and they just looking like a hot mess.
We fell off.
Now, me
Feathers
personally,
missing, they look straggly. It's gross. I'm like, ew. But yeah, go ahead.
I got well, I had. I fill up their water, in which it goes down level, it fills up automatically. I filled up with some vinegar in there,
Mm-hmm.
cider vinegar. I put that in there and leave it alone. And then when all that butt showing and everything, I put some DE on there just so that the bugs won't be on her butt.
Right.
Because flies will be
Okay. Yeah.
trying to tear it up like they got a mission. So
Yeah.
I put a DE on it and I leave them alone, and they live happy. And when
Okay.
you think
I did
about
give
it
them apple
again,
cider
the feathers
vinegar.
are there.
I stopped though because they're getting soft stool. And then this week I put electrolytes in the water and their
Yeah.
stool is more solid. So
Hey,
they seem to be fine.
now I was gonna say I'm gonna drop down because I gotta go get this, and just for good knowledge, they took the lead with them. So I know the name of the
Oh,
company. I'm about to call them and ask them what the hell they doing with their leaves and why they ain't leaving to the community. And
Wow.
I'm gonna let them
Get it how
know.
you live, bro.
Hey, gardeners, we use this stuff. Y'all ain't finna
okay.
keep just
Right.
taking this out my goddamn community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
finna call them and I'm finna go get these wood chips. But I'm gonna be down in the chat listening though,
No
okay?
problem. No problem.
Get
All
them,
right,
bro.
bro.
Get them.
So Sammy's telling me that hers happened a lot. Okay. I was just concerned because it's winter and I'm like, okay, it's December. And where are her butt feathers? Like that's a bit much.
One
Yeah,
thing
and
you
the
got to
weather,
realize
yeah,
about
it's been
chicken.
a very mild winter.
One thing you
Very
got to
so
realize
far.
about chicken, they are very cold tolerant. That's why they get in that little huddle and
Extremely.
all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Chickens know what to do when it get cold. When I have my chickens out in
Yep.
folk, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I took and I covered up everything so that they can no wind blow on them and all this
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn from your mistakes. Leave them chickens alone. If they're in a
Thank you,
building,
ARD.
they good. Let them go in and out the building as they please.
Hey, I'm
Don't
biased.
try to so-called conceal them or what. Let them take care of themselves. They know how to take care of themselves.
That's what I believe, but people try to make you feel like you're a bad I guess they work for PETA, the Animal Rights Commission board of the North American conglomerate. And oh, how you they're outside? I'm like, where am I gonna put chickens in my house? Are they gonna be sitting in the living room with me watching TV? No, they're outside. I
Right.
wrapped the run with plastic
Right.
with 2 layers of plastic, but I let some air flow through for ventilation and
Mhm.
keep the odor down. And I put DE there sometimes. I sometimes put some sand to make it more gritty, and they peck at the sand for their like digestion. But they're fine. They're fine. The
When it
cold
Mm-hmm.
comes,
hasn't bothered them too much. We haven't
Yeah.
had -0. They've been good.
that's it. Do you mix your sand and your DE together?
I mix a sand and DE with dirt for the dust bath, but I have like a
Right,
thicker sand that I put in the run on the ground. So when they're pecking and scratching, they can find like that almost like a grit, so they can use that as their grit. Plus, I give
right,
them oyster shells for their grit/calcium if they need it.
right.
So their shells are hard. There, I have 4 eggs most days, and there's 6 of them, so 3 or 4 eggs, which is pretty good for winter. They're drinking extensively. I watch them drink the electrolytes, so they're enjoying the liquids. So they're not dehydrated. And I give them their bean sprouts, their greens at lunchtime every day. They have their fresh greens, and they're eating sunflower seeds and the corn and all that other stuff. Plus, if I find a bug outside, I throw it in there and they eat the bugs.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And you know what?
they're
DE
Man,
is
my
also
chickens got
good for
yeah.
your cat.
say that again.
I say DE is also good for your cat. I put that in the litter box, and it helps
Oh yeah,
them. They don't like the fleas. Don't like the DE in
Right.
the litter box.
yeah.
DE is good for all your animals.
I think DE is the
Yeah.
best thing for anything with livestock. It's the best thing.
Right.
Fleas, ticks, mites, all of that. I think every animal, especially if they're going in and out the house, should have DE some way somehow. And it's good for deworming. I put that in their food a
I
bit.
wish
Yeah.
I had
The
had some.
DE and the deworming. I think it's the best thing ever.
Right. I
I
always
What,
didn't have
DE
none.
or the chickens?
My chickens grew up real
DE.
gutter.
No, well, both, but DE
I'm
is the best
messing
thing
with them.
ever.
I set it a regiment so that now my goats every 30 days they get some DE. My chickens, I mix it into their food and just leave it
Yeah,
alone. I'm
yeah.
mixing their food, leave it alone. And this piece of trash I got out here now, I don't even want to feed him, but I put him on the same regiment. Every 30 days, you get DE.
Dang,
Yeah.
okay.
Call them a piece of
'Cause
trash,
it's a
man.
natural parasite cleanse and dewormer. It saves you on vet bills. What do you want to pay? Vet bills, or you want to just do preventative? I think preventative is the best thing ever.
That's it. That's it.
Best thing ever.
Now, Sergeant Savage out there, I pay more money for him when he go to the doctor than when I do.
Wow.
Oh man.
I take him to
Who
the
you
doctor.
telling?
I have to go and drop
I
him.
spend $200 or $300 on him. I go to the doctor. I don't spend nothing. So who
That
I have
needs
to
to
ain't
go
drop
to the
him.
doctor?
I have to.
What, the
He
goat
got
got
to
a
go.
We
copay?
have to. We got an
He
old
got
yellow
to go.
him. We got an old yellow him, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
old
got to
yellow.
go.
Just right off the bat.
Nah, Sergeant
That's
Savage can.
First bill,
That's
I
my
would say,
boy. That's my boy.
I don't love a pet enough to keep
yeah,
putting out of
Can you?
pocket. Like I'm the kind of one that says, "Okay, I'm sorry, I love you. It's been a good run, but you got to
But,
go."
but hold it. Now he's been a better guard dog than the Great Pyrenees. I had the Great Pyrenees to guard the animals, but the German Shepherd was a better guard dog than all them Great Pyrenees. My
I
German
thought Pyrenees
Shepherd,
was like the top breed of dogs for herding for animals.
right? But my German Shepherd was better than they were,
They just expensive.
right?
They just
Now my
expensive.
German
I'm not.
Shepherd,
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nothing against the Great Pyrenees because they beautiful animals. They majestic. They huge. They are great. I've never owned one, but I've known people who have. And it really depends with Great Pyrenees. It depends on the personality of the dog.
I
Because,
would never
like
get
you said, you
another.
can have a German Shepherd. Yep. Go
Go
ahead, bro.
I would
Homestead
never
Heart
get
got
another
those
Great
too.
Pyrenees
Yeah.
unless I have at least 50 acres. Because they feel like
Yeah.
they're adults. They can come and go. I ain't got to tell you nothing.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, they like to roam. They need open land. I mean, they better in like if you got 50. I'm talking huge. I ain't even gonna say 50 because that's a small town. I'm gonna say about 10 acres, maybe 5, somewhere where they can like just really roam and patrol.
Nah, bro.
That's a better
Nah.
fit for a
5 is
great
not
pair
enough.
of knees. If you want
Oh, it's
somebody
not
who gonna
enough.
stay
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
5
you
is
don't think
not
so?
enough. No, I
Yeah.
got 5,
Okay,
6,
like 10.
and this wasn't big enough for them dogs.
Wow.
Mm,
And 5 acres to me is a good size piece of
Right.
land,
mm.
but
And now
not for them dogs.
with the
That's
German Shepherd,
that's a big piece of land.
Sergeant Savage. Now the goats, he would always bite their ear. I had a stick and I popped them one time and said no.
Damn, 24. My goodness. Okay. Well, J3 got to
He said,
call
"Don't
everybody.
call me now. I'm busy."
No.
You got a hotline. Was that
Yeah.
the White House?
Sort of, kind of, but
I know, right? 24. It's
the German Shepherd, he would bite the goat's ear. They got a long ear, so he would bite the ear, and I hit him 2 times, and I stood him right there. No, do not touch. Do not touch. I never had a problem again. The chickens were out there. He went and grabbed one of the chickens, and I yelled his name and everything. So every time I put a electric collar on him too. So
Oh, you
anytime
zapped
I
him.
go to the
Okay.
chickens, I wouldn't zap them hard. I'll just let it vibrate.
Okay.
And I say, no. You know, he walk around the chicken, goats, and everything, and he will not touch a chicken.
That's
Because
good.
If you
Because you
got
don't
them
you
he
don't
trained
was
want
like that,
animals you
trained,
can't trust around your
he was trained
livestock.
to
Yeah.
protect it, but he won't eat it now. Now, like you said earlier, African. Now, if I don't feed him and all that stuff, he might decide to get him a snack. But
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you leave them out too, exactly, and that's understandable. Hello, they're not dumb. They're gonna be like, it's gonna be me or them.
yeah, and I don't.
So
Exactly.
Now
Instinct kick in quick.
when I got him as a puppy, I told him straight up, you don't bite nobody around here. If you do, you're gonna get a bullet. And he held up to it ever since. Now, when strangers come around, he said, I can get away with this. But just family members, he have to see you with a family member. If he don't, he gonna try
you're
to
fair
bite
game. You're
you. That's
fair
it.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because that's his
Yeah.
job. You're not
'Cause
from here. You don't live here, so I gotta treat you accordingly.
yeah, my neighbor came in
No,
my
it's
yard and she
insane.
was talking to me, and she was like 4 feet over. She was fine, but then she reached to shake my hand, and I said, hold it, stop. I don't need to shake your hand. He started acting a fool. I had to hold his collar. No, stop. And she said, oh, I can't shake your hand. No, ma'am.
She had to ask you that. She don't see the dog trying to bite her hand off. Like,
Because
tell me
she
what?
stepped
Dog
forward
got
to shake
open
my
legs.
hand.
You should have been backing up.
Exactly.
No.
Should have been backing up. What you talking about? Some people ain't too bright, are they?
I'm outside my man.
Now,
I'd have
now
been
the
moving
problem
out of
is
his
some
way.
people are too bright.
No, they're not too
No,
bright.
she wasn't bright enough.
She wasn't bright because
That was a
the man's
5-watt
pulling the
bulb.
dog back from you and you're talking about shaking hand. I would have been gone long time. Down the street to my car, gone over the fence.
I know.
Both
Hey.
time I
The
shoot.
lights is on and nobody's home. Yeah.
You don't play around with people's dogs because they don't play.
No.
Right.
Anything
do
with
not play.
teeth. Anything with teeth.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Do y'all see what I see? GT Junior in the whole he in the winter wonderland, man.
Yep.
It's a little
He's
it's
been
nice up
driving for
there.
a
My
while
goodness.
too.
I
Brother
know.
been riding
We
through this
see you,
whole-
GT. Sorry, we're just talking away, but we see you.
I'm listening. I couldn't respond in the chat because I was driving. Because I be wanting to type and stuff and trying to do it like this.
Tasty come.
It's
Nah, don't do
unsafe.
that.
Thought you was
It's
going
That's
unsafe.
right.
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't want you doing that. We don't want you doing none of that.
videos, but
That's not
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, but it's a lot of snow out here. It's 18 degrees, but it's a lot of snow. It's beautiful out here.
Woo.
I
that
haven't
was
gotten no
my
snow
son.
yet,
That was
and I'm
my
glad.
son.
Okay, I figured you got the same teeth, same smile.
Oh, holy no. Oh, well. He might look
You
this
do.
way.
You both got the big bright teeth.
Hey.
Okay, let me see it. If I miss anybody, Sweet Thumb, hey, good to see you. And anybody else that we missed, we sorry. We've just
What's
been
up, bro?
talking away.
Hey, sweet
Tech Money,
thumb.
I see you
Hey,
there.
Sweet Thumb.
And Unbiased is in the chat. Sammy Joe, Sassy,
Hey,
ARD,
Amber.
Hey,
Queen.
Unicorn Lady, Texas Lala, Drea Lasha. Who's in here? Oh, she's been listening in the bushes. But yeah, Planter's here. Okay, and Psalms is here. But yeah, I'm
What's
telling you,
up,
I'm
plants or
changing
garden?
what I'm doing this year. Next year's gonna be more manure for sure. And I did notice, I shared with you guys, I don't know if you were, some of you guys are not always here, but my spinach is outside and it's still doing fine. And it's December in a zone 5B. The spinach is fine. So some of y'all who are concerned about spinach, it can handle the cold. I'm going to put them in the garage probably this weekend to kind of stay in the garage because I think it's going to get colder. I have lettuce that germinated in a pot outside in the last 8 weeks and it's cold. I'm talking about Celsius, like 3 degrees Celsius, which is, let me put weather in the chat because I
yeah, I was
can't
about
tell
to
you what
say,
it is
get
in
that straight.
Fahrenheit.
I'm not into that Celsius and all that.
Weather, Toronto. Hold on, I'm going to type weather in the chat. It'll tell me. It'll
Celsius make
convert
more
it for
sense than
me
Fahrenheit.
because I don't do no Fahrenheit. I know 30 is R0. I think your
That
30 is R0. Yeah, so it
that's
says 40. It's 6 degrees
43.
Celsius, 43 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh shoot,
So
that's
probably
warm.
you're talking about 40 to 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and the lettuce is germinating outside.
That's kind of like when I was in school. They told us we had to learn the metric system. We learned the metric system, and oh, I bet not say that because they might still take over.
You silly.
Hey,
Didn't
that's
make
what they told us we had to. Now, back when I was in school, we learned Spanish, but they said we had to learn the metric system because them other folks might end up doing such and such, and they still might do it today. But we ain't into that metric stuff.
that didn't make sense to me because we did metric, and then when you go to like the hardware store, everything's in imperial, and then the construction industry is all imperial. So it's like you have to know
Yeah.
both because it just didn't make any sense.
Hey.
So that's what happened. So I have to still learn both. It didn't help, but yeah, it's about 43 degrees Fahrenheit, a little colder. We haven't had any negative in our currency, Celsius. There hasn't been no negative, really zero. So I've been good. The plants are fine. So next year I'm going to really be pushing the envelope more and make some plastic box, some plastic almost greenhouse thingies to put over certain plants and leave them outside all year and see what happens. Hey 10, hey, hold on.
Hey, 10.
Let me see. Sassy's asking, canning live. I'm ready for another one.
What's up, 10?
I'm not sure, Sassy. I'm trying to even just learn. Probably yes. I'll say yes, but when I'm not sure. When I'm not sure. Mind you, last one I fell asleep on, mind you. But it was still there playing. But yeah,
you was in and fell asleep on it, huh?
Oh yeah, I was sleeping. And I got up and then oh, they're ending. Okay, click and I ended up.
Now,
and somebody said, I know urban sleeping. Yeah, past my bedtime. What do you think this is, man?
I don't want to bring up somebody else's channel, but I was watching Big Rooster last night while he was singing and everything. I
was
fell
there
asleep
too, yeah.
on him. I fell asleep on him. I woke up at 2 something and I looked at the iPad. I said, "Dog, Rooster, you still on?" And he was eating a brownie or something. I said, "You still on?" I just typed in there, "What time is it?" And find out the machine was just re-showing.
Replaying. Okay, yeah. I fell asleep too. I got in there late, and then I was like past my bedtime as per usual because they up there late. I fell asleep with Tori singing some Kirk Franklin, and then they're fooling around, and they couldn't guess Bougie's song. Bougie had a song, and nobody could guess the song, and then I fell asleep like shortly thereafter. I was tired.
Hey,
tired. But yeah, Friday night's always a good time at Big Roosters.
Yep.
I think I want Miss Shirley. I ain't talking about old people, but them senior citizen naps.
Are.
Them senior citizen naps help 9.
senior citizens. I'll be taking naps. I'll be taking naps all my damn life. I need a nap, a good nap, a good power nap sometime. 10 minute,
I
20
ain't
minute power
saying. I
nap.
tell you, I take a nap in a heartbeat. Ain't no
Telling you.
shame in my game. When I get
Telling
tired,
you.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Go take a little nap. Have a nice, get up, have a nice drink, refresh yourself, and get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I take naps
That's
all the
how
time.
sometimes I can only make it through the day as I take a nap. Yeah, I
Girl.
don't sleep well. Seem like the older I get,
I know
the
that.
less sleep I have. They
Right.
say your
Yes.
metabolism slows down, so therefore you don't need as much sleep, and I don't. And I might be up at 3 o'clock in the morning washing dishes or doing a load of clothes or something because I'm up. And once I'm up all day. And then I might take a nap between 1 and 3, and then I'm back at it
Yeah.
again. So my
And then you're
body,
at it again. Yeah.
it's crazy
I take a
sometimes.
nap. But I have to get up early because them damn chickens, they have a routine. So I'm like, oh God. So I can't sleep in anymore. Those days are like this morning. I got there late and they're telling me off in chicken and making that pure noise. And then if I ever go in there when they're laying in their egg and disturb them, the whole street can hear them screaming on the place.
I
I'm
used to
like,
have
keep
a
it
problem
down.
with that. So what I did was I got me a big feeder, and I only fill it up once a week, so I don't have to go out there constantly and feed them every
No,
morning.
I tried that, Jegs, and I saw the rat doo-doo. Then I went out there last week, and the rat came out to greet me. The rat, I
Oh,
caught the rat. I went out to go collect the eggs at about. I go in the morning. I go in the morning to feed them at 7:30. I went at about 10 o'clock. I opened the door to the coop, and the rat, oh my gosh, and it jumped out. He goes in there during the day to go eat the food. And maybe at night too. The damn, not a mouse, rat with a long tail, but not as big as Bull's garden rat, but it was a rat nonetheless. I said, okay, I'm gonna fix the business now. Now it's war.
Now
And I
I
went on
had
Amazon and bought
squirrels trying to eat their food.
I bought 6 mole thingies and finally got them working. I bought sticky trap and buy the electric zap rat trap with the batteries. I went on Amazon and bought a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna get that rat. Because I don't need the people that
wow.
saying, oh, because of these birds, we have a rat problem. The rat was already there. These mice have been at the back. I have nothing behind me, so it's been a wildlife. But they're gonna blame my birds for that.
You might
Not
want
the
to get you a
birds.
wild cat.
I'm gonna have to get a cat. So now I have to get another animal to feed to take care of the rats.
Well, the thing with that is he'll feed himself. He can get the rats. He will eat.
He will eat. Oh
You just
Lord.
feed him every now and then. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I saw a cat in the backyard in the neighbor's yard because they don't keep their yard So the cat that I haven't seen came back. So there's a cat around. So I want to put some sardines at the back to attract them. But I haven't seen the rat this week though. I think the rat got the message like, don't come over here.
Yeah.
Because
My
I'm
Well,
a
If you put
I
some
homesteader
got
of
a
the
now.
neighbor who
sardines,
got
I'll
a
come get them
problem
rats.
with they trash.
The rat twice. I caught the rat red-handed, red-tailed, whatever you want to call it, big old ugly rat. And I was like, I'm like, okay, you met the new me. The new me's a homesteader, so I'm gonna chop you up.
Yeah. My
Okay.
neighbor, she
Hey,
got
Urban.
cats. I never own a
Yes.
cat, but my neighbor got a cat, and I'll see the cat walking over my yard and everything. I don't even chase it away. I said, "Do your thing."
No. So you're welcome. Come over here and hunt.
That's it. Just don't stay here, but come on over.
Hey, Urban, if you keep laying out sardines and herrings or whatever, you might mess around and see me up there somewhere taking care of them rats for you.
I was about to say that.
Oh my!
I'm just saying.
But I saw the cat come, so that's why I don't leave the food out, Jegs, because I'm like, I just need to watch the amount of vermin that I'm. So right now at nighttime, all the food is dumped back in the bucket, and there's no food. They gotta wait till I get up to feed them. Period. Point blank. Because these mice be sneaky. I put out 3 traps in there with peanut butter. I don't see no mice in there. So I think he's for. So I'm trying to make sure I don't have no vermin problems.
I had more problems with snake than I did mouse. But the snakes, they never lived to. They never lived.
Mama, I bought the seeds.
The snakes always got caught.
Yeah, I need a pellet gun. I'm gonna get one because by the time you see them, they're already racing down and you don't have much time to. You got to be ready for them. But I haven't seen any new droppings from the rat. So and I put pepper around. Fifi puts black pepper everywhere. I did that. That kind of helped. But they know there's food in there, so I had to stop with the food and just change the routine so that they can't, you know. So I give the girls just enough food for like 2 hours, and I go every few times and give them a little more, some sprouts and this, some that, just to change the routine because I don't want no rat. That's the most disgusting creature I could ever. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do rat.
I
No,
lived in New
I'll
York.
do tree
Yes.
rats, but not rat.
no, the nasty, the germs, the diseases. It's like, no, you're not welcome over here. You too close. So I'm gonna put up the rat zapper thingy that when they go in there, like it electrically zaps them and fries them up. So I'll do that. But I didn't put any poison because I
Urban
don't want to have to like risk my chickens getting sick.
a way
Sorry,
to
go ahead.
a way to work on your marksmanship as well as eliminate some unwanted pests. If you do go ahead and get that pellet pew pew, they got some of them. They might cost you a little bit more. Night sights is one of the best things you can get for them little critters right there because it's like they
I think I
instinctively know that you
and you
can't
could just
see
sit
them,
there and just be like
and you
sniper.
can just and pick them off. Yep, and it'll help you work on your breathing, your trigger pull, all of that. So I mean, it sounds
Well,
crazy.
dang.
Two
Okay,
for
that
one
was a lesson.
training.
That was a quick lesson.
That's it. Hey, make
Telling you.
them worth it. Make them worth it. Hey.
So you coming over here?
Make them worth
All
it.
right.
Yeah, I'm
Upper
gonna hit
room
you
for
and all
you.
your little buddies. Yeah, y'all, I can't believe these squirrels. This all seriously. We've been joking. It's like they know I'm here. I kid you not, man. They really be busy whenever I'm not doing. If I'm barbecuing, I see squirrels. They jumping from limb to limb. They doing all kinds of stuff. If I'm out here, oh, them look like down home sausage. I don't know what them is. GT got.
I'm gonna
But
make me a
when
sausage sandwich this morning with mayo and mustard.
Sausage?
I see.
Yeah, sausage sandwich. Yeah.
Hook your mama up with one right
Yeah,
quick.
I can't catch no squirrel.
I got you.
Yesterday was bacon or something. I saw him making bacon. Was it yesterday? No, he was on K-Renee's making something or some GTB on everyone's panel, eh?
Yeah, he was frying up
You
some
can always
bacon.
count on GT. You can count on GT to come up anytime.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, you can count on GT to come up anytime. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm cooking breakfast for the man." Them.
Yeah, I was gonna make salmon croquette, but I don't have any. What's that stuff called? You put on it? The white stuff.
The panko crumbs.
Horseradish.
Not no. The
Mustard.
to make it
Tartar.
thick. Cornmeal? No. Yeah, cornstarch. Ain't had no cornstarch.
Man, you
Croquette.
don't need
You're
no
getting fancy
cornstarch for
about
salmon
croquette.
croquettes.
Well, holla at me then. Tell me something.
Man.
I use breadcrumbs.
Man, you
I use
fancy.
whatever.
Yeah.
No,
breadcrumbs and flour. A little bit of flour.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can use flour. Yeah, you don't use cornstarch.
I don't even think we got no flour, huh? Wait a minute. What's this? What's almond flour?
That's flour. That's flour.
You can use almond flour, probably.
Yeah, it's gluten free.
Put flour, egg, some seasoning.
It's just a binder.
Yeah. You can use almond flour because that's for people who have
you better use that
diet.
Oh, I am.
Just add an egg and egg flour, season it the way you want it. And if your wife and son don't like the bones in it, just take the bones out and keep going.
Yeah, I'm at work, but yeah.
But
this ain't for them. This for my job.
I like the wife when she needs the bones in it because it's a little crunchy. They're soft bones anyway, but they taste all right.
Yeah, that's for
you
the
can use almond
patients
flour.
right
A lot of people use almond flour nowadays.
I'm gonna do almond flour then.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I'm glad y'all told y'all that.
Yeah.
Because they want it.
Yeah,
You got to pivot, man.
I'm
They
not
said you
just
gonna
a
make it
farmer.
again.
I'm not just a farmer. I used to cook too. I'm
yeah.
not cordon bleu.
You're not cordon
I've
bleu.
been cooking all
I'm
my
not
life.
cordon
This is
bleu.
the
I'm,
original
I'm,
Betty Crocker.
I'm one of them.
There you go.
Hey, I want to eat.
That's it.
I, I
Cause you
don't need
know
nobody to
some folks say,
certify my cooking. I can cook.
all right.
That's good.
Well, I know J
Well,
three. I know
well, you're
J3
still
is the
here, so you
old
know what you're
school.
doing, right? You're still here.
Hey,
That's it. I know where broke at. Broke might still being alive. I know some fellas say they don't do no cooking. Baby, that's two things
No, he don't
I
do no
got as a
cooking. He said that
rule.
straight up.
Hey,
No,
even
broke a
before
tell
I
you in a
became a
heartbeat. His wife
husband.
do all the cooking.
hey, like I
No,
said,
but I tell
my
you what, if I'm
mama,
hungry, I know how to cook. I know how to cook. I'm gonna cook, and I know how to clean up. If it's something on the floor or something need to be put away, I ain't finna wait for nobody else to do it. I'm not finna wait for
that's it.
nobody. I'm not finna
That's
wait for April to come along and fix my circumstance or situation.
I just muted you,
If
DT, because
I'm
that pad was
hungry,
making too
I'm
much
gonna make
noise.
something for myself. Yeah. If
You gotta,
oh
you
yeah, she
gotta
was
cook
just saying she
something.
muted you, GT.
Yeah, your
not
pad was making too
Eh?
much noise,
You
so I
gotta
muted
cook
you.
something for yourself.
Oh,
I
sorry.
told my
Yeah,
son, you
yeah,
must
you
not be that hungry, because I know you know how to cook. You sitting there waiting on me. I was like,
that's
you know
it.
what? You're gonna
yeah.
starve today. Because I'm not cooking anything. I know you know how to cook.
That I gave my
That's
wife a
it. You
break.
better get up and make something for yourself.
I gave my wife a break. I said
Oh, go ahead,
Thursday,
bro.
Fridays I'll cook, and some Saturdays I'll cook. But Thursday,
Okay,
Friday, those are the days I cook just to give her a break.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
that's a good
Yeah.
deal. I think it's a good deal.
Mhm.
Well, that's
And
why
some
you
of these,
got
some
When
of
this
these
my
men
time of
could
year.
cook.
grandkids
What is it?
come
A
over,
lot of
36
you men
years?
could cook very well. You guys could cook very well. I want to taste like
oh yeah.
something else besides my food.
Hey, I ain't hey, I used to cook at the Midland
Mm-hmm.
Hotel in Chicago
Yeah, so
and
that's a good deal.
Well, I,
the restaurant in the water tower. Uh, I used to cook in there. So hey, I think I got some skills.
well,
I think
but
you
Yeah,
do.
but
sound like it.
J3, I know you. Hey, it ain't just that, man. Happy wives feel like doing other endeavors. When your wife happy and comfortable and then relaxed and
Bruh,
stuff,
bruh,
baby, they feel like doing other things. And
bruh,
Who you
this is
telling? Who you
so
telling,
it ain't.
Jay?
bruh,
The mango
bruh.
slinger? You telling
This
him?
is 38
You don't know?
years. This is 38 years. I ain't got no problem with that. Hey, hey, it's that time.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, baby.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
baby.
Yeah. Well, see, it ain't just that. It ain't. Just, I want her to feel so happy and relaxed and comfortable. And I done cooked something for you. You done sat back with your feet up. I bring you your plate, whatever. And we, and after that, I'm telling you, man, I'm not typical in that sense, baby. First off, I love moo because comfortable wives is happy wives. Happy
Yeah,
wives
I
Oh
love
yeah.
moo bro.
is
I
other kind of
love
wives.
moo
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
Yes,
two
sir.
can fit
Yes,
in.
They
sir.
Hey,
say.
African,
Baby, get
you know
comfortable.
two can fit in the moo, right?
we heard.
Yes,
We heard
facts.
already. You said that already. You said that's why you love them moo moos. Easy
Mm-hmm.
Happy
access,
wife,
right?
happy life.
Easy.
No, I don't
Yes,
go with that
sir.
saying happy wife, happy. I don't go with that saying. I'll say it to pump her head up now and then, but
Happy
I don't
house,
do that.
happy spouse.
That's it.
Yeah, happy house, happy
Yeah,
spouse.
Thank
exactly.
you.
And
That's
That's
what
it.
it is. My dad say that junk, and I'm like,
yeah,
no, dad, it ain't that. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Happy house, happy spouse. Yeah.
yeah.
that's it.
And,
Cause
and and
hey,
and when she's smiling, I end up smiling all the time. It ain't failed me yet, boy.
hey, she
21
smile, we
years, it
smile.
ain't failed me yet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They said, when I move, you move, just like
Just
that.
like that.
Just like that. Just like that. Hey, you know
Miss
what? This
Shirley, you
way
see how
off
they got
subject.
me acting? You know we don't.
Uh-uh, don't
You
put
know
me
we
on
don't
No,
there.
have.
ain't got
You
you
see how
After
they
acting
you,
got
like
us?
that.
Got
after
me
you
acting.
ate that mango, don't say nothing to me.
There you go, Miss Shirley. There you go, Miss Shirley.
When I need a
Like a
good laugh, I go
madman,
back to
like a
that short just
wild
to
man.
watch that clip, the mango
Hey,
and the
what's
slurp. I'm like,
what's so special about a mango?
Yeah,
What did
you
you
know
come
you
on to
made
do? I didn't
history
see
with that
God.
Well,
mango. You know they'll never let you lay that one
yeah,
down.
never, ever, ever.
yeah, bro.
And only
When
if
you
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 get the
may
really knew.
slurping,
disagree
I'm
with
just
that one.
saying.
If you really knew.
Yeah, when you get the slurping.
And then April's like,
Mm-mm.
ooh. She's
My
like,
goodness.
ooh.
I was like, say what?
And,
I was like,
hey,
hold on, wait.
Yeah.
and keep trying to grow mango trees every year. I ain't succeeded yet, but good with a mango.
Get out. Could
You'll
have
get
fooled
there.
me.
You'll get there. You'll get
Yeah, could have fooled me.
there. I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's change this conversation. Let's get off of me.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Back to the
well,
soil health.
I
Back to soil
change it
health.
to this. Yeah, soil health and pew pew seeds. Pew pew. I cannot believe because I was watching even while I was away. I cannot believe how expensive pew pew seeds then got in the last. Literally, we left. We got to Africa in at the end of 2020, December of 2020. I cannot believe, even though I was watching, it's different when you physically on the ground and you can go to different places and look and see retail price for yourself. You gotta be kidding me. Some of this stuff done went up like 40 to 60% from over the past 3 years. Jesus
Welcome to the
Lord,
real
what are
world,
people
It's
bro.
going up
doing?
Welcome to
again
the
though,
real
right?
world.
Welcome home.
Man,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
it's
My
Now you
brother
know why
crazy.
came.
people buy them in bulk and store them up because you can beat the
Uh
inflation
huh.
by storing up when it's on a certain price. Stock up.
My brother came down and he
Yep.
liked to go shooting and all that stuff. And I said, here, use the 410 because he never shot a 410, but he had 410 rounds. I said, I tell you what,
That's
just
an
lead him
expensive
right there.
round.
When you go, lead him right there. I just stack up on it. He always buying bullets. I just
Yeah.
stack up on it. That's the
Yeah.
difference. I could tell who been in the military and who hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Those that haven't been in the military, they freak about them guns. They're crazy about them. But folks that been in the military, ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
Man, I spent 2 years of my life as a unit armorer, and I lived. That's what I was saying to Urban earlier. I didn't add in that part, the unit armorer part. I literally spent, and one time we was training, and I had Air Force guys come over, and they was great. They were like kids in the candy store. Now, mind you, by the time they got there, I had already been training people on headspace and timing, and sitting behind about 650 cows for about 8 hours already before they got there. And when they got there, they was just like, I mean, just as happy as you can get. They was thrilled because they only do this once a year. I do this once a week. Or sometimes I'm out there for 2 days out of the week. Sometimes 3 days out of the week. So it ain't no big deal for me. I said, man, okay, this is what you do. This how you do it. Yada, yada, yada.
You put mustard in
When
them
I say
things,
you
boy.
can get tired, you can get tired of ammunition. You can get
Yeah,
tired of weapons
You put
altogether.
mustard in there?
yeah.
I'm gonna
What's
have to
wrong
teach
with
you how to
mustard?
cook, bro.
What's wrong with mustard?
I'm gonna teach you how to
Okay,
cook.
but mustard and
What's wrong with
salmon
mustard?
croquette is what
Mustard
I
is
learned a
nice.
long time ago. Huh?
Mustard is nice. I like the
Yeah.
tangy taste
Oh,
of
that's
mustard.
insulting.
So
Yeah, tangy mustard with
Yeah.
fish.
What's wrong with mustard?
yeah,
What?
it's
Come on,
nice.
Mister. Maybe I need to teach you a little something, Mr. J3.
No,
I
Uh-uh.
know, right? Come on, J3.
no.
What's wrong with mustard?
I get the
Mustard and
mustard.
fish.
I can get the mustard after it's cooked, but not in the mix.
No, I put it in the mix.
Put it in the mix. I put it in the mix
To each
sometimes. It
his
depends how
own.
many
I mean,
people.
I'm not the
Me
best
too.
cook in the world, but I think it's good. I think they like it,
Hey,
so it works. Yeah,
GT.
If it ain't
Hey,
broke,
GT,
don't
don't worry
fix it.
about don't.
True,
that's all
true,
I'm
true.
There you
saying.
go.
But I do
It
listen
just
to
Don't
it just
trust none of
caught
that.
me. It
advice,
just cost me.
huh?
That's all. It just caught me. No,
Yeah,
mustard
it's
in
all
there?
good.
Hey, hey, J3 eats sardines, man. Don't trust people who eat sardines except for
Hey,
me.
hold it.
I'm the only
Mustard.
sardine eater.
Hey,
I'm not.
mustard sardines. They good.
They're real good.
Yeah,
See,
mustard
see how he is.
sardines, tomato sardines, hot sauce sardine, all that stuff
Oh,
on some rice. Yes, sir.
Nah, nah, I
hey,
can't fade your
African Dreamer,
tomato. You can have a tomato to yourself. Go
have
ahead, bro.
you have you seen how much potted meat is, man? I don't know if you eat potted meat,
I
but
haven't
it's
seen.
expensive. It used to be like a
Yeah.
quarter.
I can.
It
Yeah.
ain't cheap no more.
I
Not
haven't
even at the
seen it because
dollar
I don't
store.
eat it. Wow.
True
I
that.
eat
True that.
Vienna sausage, but I can't fade the potted meat. Potted
And it's
meat
the same thing.
remind me. Oh, I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. It is. It's mashed up. It's mashed up. It's basically Vienna sausage after you done chewed them. That's what it is with a little gelatin in it.
I can't eat that. I gave it to
I'll
chickens.
Man,
I couldn't
say,
stand it. It had no
man, I
taste.
want no
yeah, I
Vienna
can't do
sausage you
it.
done chewed up, man.
How I like mine is
I can't
I
do it.
open the can and I get saltine crackers,
And
and then
dip.
I get a little bit on my saltine cracker and put 2 drops of, man, probably like 4 drops of
Like pate.
hot sauce on it. Oh,
Hmm.
so good, so good.
That's too much
Now
sodium.
Yeah, I can't eat that. Exactly. I can't eat that
yeah,
stuff.
it's a lot. And after, you know what, man? The reason I back off and I'm trying to eat as much fresh and green and stuff that I grow as I can,
Right.
man, I done ate so many doggone MREs over my life that I
Hey,
can only imagine how many I done lost count on how many, not rations. Rations
One
is more
second.
for like liquor, and they used to all be rations back in the day. But I done ate so many MREs, man, that I just, it was one of them that was textured like potted meat. To this day, my favorite MREs is chicken a la king and beef stew. I would trade
hey.
anybody. I trade anybody, but all the beef
Oh
patty and
shoot.
the other ones and the spaghetti this and spaghetti that. I mean, I don't want, because most of the time we had to eat it cold. You wasn't no
And
chance to
spaghetti
heat it
was the
up.
worst one, man.
So
Spaghetti was
uh it
spaghetti.
was horrible. It was horrible.
But
Oh,
now, it was good compared to the sea rats. Now that spaghetti was pitiful. The sea
What did
rations,
you say?
I
Sea rats?
yeah, sea rations.
Oh,
see rations,
They
see
came in
rations.
a square
J3
box,
old school.
and you got a whole meal in there.
Yeah.
And beef and boulders, and the spaghetti was some of the worst ones. But if you had some rummy on the side, and you get them beef and boulders, oh man, that'll slap them rummy in the face.
Hey, J3 from the era of military where stuff still came in cans, y'all. For y'all who don't know, he was still getting canned. J when J3 when J3
That
joined, they would literally still, like, it was Vietnam era. And I'm not being funny. That's
hey, the
like
uniform
true.
was all
That's for
green.
real, for real.
The uniform was all green, not this
It was
multi stuff.
Oh, I
so
know.
when
My
y'all think
stepfather
about
was a
J3 in the
sergeant in the army.
military,
I tasted all of them.
mm-hmm, it was
He would go down to
J3
the PX.
military career is an episode of MASH. Mm-hmm.
Close to it.
It was MASH.
Close to it. Yeah. Hey, especially in Korea, it was just
You
like being in MASH.
mm-hmm.
y'all! Thank you again
Miss
for the
Shirley,
almond flour suggestion. I appreciate that.
Not a
Oh,
problem,
you're
bro.
welcome.
it's
You
all
need any
good,
more
bro.
cooking advice? Just let me know. We can
Let
All
us
right, bet
all
that
know,
J3.
we can
There
throw
he
up
go.
some cordon
Let
bleu
us
in a
all
heartbeat,
know.
man. With a little bit of honey sauce on it, man. Shoot,
Got different flavors.
that's it.
That's it. Miss Shirley, I hate you had to eat them things, but I'm glad you got the experience. Cause I if you didn't
Yeah,
ate
we
some sea
did.
ration,
We
boy,
did.
you ooh,
Shoot.
Well,
Lord
see,
have
my
mercy.
dad was trying to teach us at the time that there was people all over the world that were starving and that we should be blessed and yada da 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 da. Because that's when he hit us also to cow's tongue and spam and all that other stuff that a lot of other kids never heard of
Mm-hmm.
until they got older. But
That's
it
it.
popped up in our household. Yeah.
And that's one of
Right,
the things I
right.
always say. Never say what you won't eat. You say it now because you got money in your pocket. You say what you won't eat. But I tell you what, if you ain't got no
And
money,
options.
never say
And
what you won't eat.
options.
Look at consistency of that. That mug is
Yeah.
good. Oh yes.
I see you, JT. Yeah.
You
GT.
put an egg in that, man.
Yeah.
All right, we good then. We good.
I was
We
going to
good.
say, wait a minute, Jay. they give him a break.
J3. J3, look at the chat. 10 says spaghetti was good. The eggs and ham was the word. Yeah, I don't even.
I never
Jesus
had the
Lord.
eggs and ham. I know. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I take
I
Me
that
didn't
back.
like
neither.
I
eggs
did.
and ham.
I did. But now the
I'll
spaghetti.
trade
It was.
anything. Yeah.
I was a Jeep driver a portion of my time, and the C rats and the MREs they came in good because you raised up your Jeep cover and you set that sucker right in there that it won't
On the
move
motor,
while you
on the
ride
hood,
down the road.
yeah.
You put a slight tear in that fella, just a slight tear, and you put it on that motor, and you beep out your business. And when you're ready to eat, oh man, seemed like Mama was in the kitchen.
Bro,
Okay.
we wasn't even allowed to use no heaters for probably the man. I think I probably used my heater maybe 4 or 5 times the whole time I was in. Everything else was straight cold, and for most even in the units for a little while it was like you can't have your Skittles, you can't have none of the cookies, you can't have none of the nothing. It was like BCT all over again, and I was probably 2 years in before I really like just enjoyed a whole full MRE without no headache, nobody hollering about nothing dumb. It was, yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But again, y'all, J3GS Farm was in the military back when MASH was hot. So y'all just keep that in mind.
And I ain't ashamed, bro. Ain't ashamed. C rations were good. Just don't get the
You
beef.
shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
Just don't get the beef and boulders. But man,
ARD said, "What's the difference between potted meat and spam?" Asking for a friend.
potted meat is smashed up. It's just
They pretty much the same.
yeah, but the spam just has a form to
It's
it,
too soft.
and
Yeah, it's gelatinized. It's got that gelatin in it.
They both salty. They both got gelatin in it, and if you know how to season it, you can make it taste good or not.
yeah. The
And spam,
spam
you can make breakfast. You can, go ahead.
make
Sorry.
breakfast slices, dice it up and put it in your Rumian soup and all that. With the
You can put it with
spam,
eggs. Yeah.
the potted meat, you just spread that on something and keep going. But that spam, that's a winner at times. That's a winner. That
That's
spam
funny.
make you think you got a steak in front of you at times.
I don't know what kind of steak you've been eating.
If you out there in the field, it'll be the best
Yeah,
steak
well, you're in
ever.
the military. Yeah, I guess
Be the
so.
best steak
That's a
ever.
whole different
I didn't
story.
have my share of spam.
Yeah, okay.
That thing I think was like 75 cents a can.
Mm-hmm.
We load up our vehicle.
That spam was good. Fry that thing up. Put it on two pieces of bread with some mayo and some mustard. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
I'd rather have some tuna fish than to have that. Yuck.
How you make your
I,
tuna fish,
That wasn't
Urban?
gonna happen. Well, like they said, they
I
talking
mix
about the
my tuna fish
military,
with
so they, wasn't no
uh
supermarket out there in the field.
we used to shred carrots, like a grated carrots. We put green
Oh, okay.
onions. We put I put garlic. I like a little heat in mine, and mayonnaise, and then sometimes people put like relish in there, sweet relish, and then you use that as a sandwich spread. But
I
I
what I
I
do
don't
is
like spam. I'll eat corned beef here and there, but not like.
how I do mine is I do the tuna fish and then I add mayo, mustard, pepper, salt, and pickle
Mm-hmm.
relish, and then I add eggs and I dice up the eggs really really fine and everything. Then I
Mm-hmm.
add it. Oh, it's so
I've never
good,
added
so
egg to
so
mine, but
good.
I do like a nice egg salad too. Yeah, I do like a nice egg salad, but I've never added egg to the tuna. But I use carrots,
And
yeah,
Oh,
green
really?
onions.
I
Yeah.
I
never
think
used
eggs will
carrots.
make the tuna.
Yes,
Say
Yeah.
it again.
I think eggs make the tuna salad. Because I put eggs, celery, onions, little
Celery, yeah,
garlic,
celery.
celery.
mustard, mayo, and relish. Yeah.
Well, not
I
everybody
didn't.
in
I
my
forgot
family
about the
eats egg.
celery.
That's why too. Like if some people are just like
Fine.
straight
Yeah, I
pescatarian,
like the little crunch.
so
Yeah.
I don't. We didn't put egg and like mix up stuff because some people didn't eat it. So I never had it with egg. I had egg
Ah,
salad separate, and then I had tuna salad separate.
I'm gonna
When
try
my
that.
mom
I'm gonna
made it
try.
for her
okay.
friends, she would
I
put
gotta have
sliced
eggs.
eggs on the top as presentation with a little paprika sprinkled on top of that.
I'll try
Ooh,
that. I'll try
fancy.
it. I'll try it. Yeah,
Yeah, on a bed
I'll
of
try it.
lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was sense. My mom liked to
Oh,
have
on
her
a
little
bed of
crunch
lettuce.
and stuff. Yeah, on a bed of
Mmm.
Yeah,
lettuce.
it's nice on lettuce. It's nice on lettuce. So I love me a
Yeah.
good tuna salad. I love me a good egg salad. Yeah, you need some hot sauce on there too. Yeah, a little bit of
Ooh,
hot
Mm-hmm.
sauce.
Couple of drops on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I do
Or you
2
could use
eggs
a
per
little
can.
horseradish on the side. A little horseradish on
What?
the side. Yeah.
Yeah. If you like
Horseradish?
relish, yeah, because it has more
Oh
kick than
Lord.
regular relish. Yeah, I like a
Substitute
Is
the
little.
hot sauce. Use horseradish.
I I have never had real horseradish. I only had the stuff that come in the Arby's thing. Does
Oh
it
no.
compare?
No.
no.
Real horseradish will open up your sinuses for 2 weeks.
Your
Oh,
sinus,
so
your
that's
ears, your
the fake
throat.
wasabi then.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's kind of
buddy.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
The
kind of
it's
like
green
like
yeah.
stuff, how do you
wasabi.
make it green? Coloring?
I ain't never had
The
green. My
wasabi,
my
No,
wasabi is green though, isn't it?
wasabi
oh
is
wasabi.
green,
I thought he
but
was still talking about
horseradish and
horseradish.
wasabi is not the same thing.
No.
Well, when I went to go get the little what's those things, the raw sushi, they had the little wasabi, and I told somebody about it. They was like, "That's not real wasabi." They said that's horseradish, and I said, "Okay, so are you sure?"
If
Oh, okay then.
if that's the case, what they did is they add food coloring, green food coloring to it to make it look
Yeah,
like
because
Yeah.
it's
wasabi.
not green.
And another, they had to grade it where it's real creamy instead of grainy.
Oh yeah, apples would taste good. Apples, he's saying he didn't in tuna salad, but you'll be surprised. Someone put apples in a pot roast
Apples.
too. It was nice.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Yeah,
supposed
I've
to be
seen that.
savory, not sweet.
but apples
Yeah.
aren't sweet.
All apples aren't
They
Regular
could be
apples aren't
sweet or
that
tart.
sweet.
They can be tart.
Yeah, look at me, but it's not like sweet like sugar or raisins. It's like a fruity, it's not the same
Oh,
as adding sugar. It just adds another taste to the
was
the
it
fish.
Arby's put apples in their tuna. Not to mention they
oh,
put
I never
nuts,
had tuna from
potatoes, and
Arby's.
me either.
well, I go for a healthy choice when I'm out there in the street. I go
Oh
Hmm.
for
no,
healthy.
I get a half a pound.
It just adds a nice flavor, but it's not the same as
Now,
people add sugar to stuff.
GT, what kind of
Yes,
oil are
ma'am.
you cooking your patties in?
Bacon grease.
Are you baking them or are you frying them?
He's like bacon grease.
Bacon grease.
Oh, okay. Now you adding all the flavors. Huh?
You already know, Miss
He's got
Shirley.
flavor. He's got flavor all over, man. It's croquettes. It's croquettes. Yeah, I don't eat bacon, but I'll use some bacon grease occasionally. Sometimes when you fry it, and some bacon
Now,
grease.
when I'm
Mm,
making my smothered cabbage, that's what I saute my vegetables in is bacon
mm,
grease, and then I
Yeah,
layer my cabbage
yeah.
with bell
yeah,
peppers, onion, and garlic, and sea salt and cracked pepper. And then at the
Mm.
very end, I might throw in some shredded carrots and let it cook all down. It'll be
I
ready
love
to
carrots
slap
in my.
somebody.
I love
You
carrots in all
cooking
my
today,
stuff.
Miss Shirley?
You heard?
You cooking today, Miss Shirley?
Diggs leaning all the way in. He's like,
Matter of fact, that's what I'm cooking. I'm cooking cabbage, smothered pork chops, and I'm making my own gravy and some mashed potatoes. That's for dinner today.
Miss Shirley, you need a mango?
I'll stick with honey. Look at GT.
Yeah, call me.
He
Oh,
on
he's
the,
gotta
no, he
go.
got a
Okay,
call. That's why I had to get off.
okay.
Yeah, got a call.
Nah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to cut it short because it's now almost 1 o'clock. I'm gonna go to the store and get
Oh
some
my
produce.
goodness. That's what happens when you're
But I
having
had a
fun,
ball.
Urban.
I had a ball this morning
Yep.
talking
I
about
just had to
nothing.
come up today.
We're talking about nothing. We had a good old time.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Great live,
found
We're all
Letitia. Great
adults.
live.
I
We're
find
all
out yes
adults.
I found out the same thing yesterday. When you having fun, you forget about the time.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
you
you,
do.
it's
Because
almost
That's
yesterday
one
what
is
it
the
o'clock.
says.
first time.
Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, it does.
Yesterday is the first time ever I did 3 hours. I said, "Dog, my name ain't
You were
African
there. I
Dreamer."
was in the bushes, but you were. I'm like, what is going on? He says, go. But it's much needed. It's been a hard year, for some people, and it's holiday season. It's nice to have some fun, just laugh and
Yeah,
kick
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you all for all that for the last between the 12 days of Christmas and everyone's lives. We've been having a
Are,
good
Yeah.
old
are they
time for the
finished with
last.
the Are they finished with
Yeah,
the
we're
12?
finished. It's finished now.
The
I know.
last night was the last one. You should have seen
Yeah.
Cosby Q and Erica
Last
and them.
night
They
was the
was off the
Yeah.
close off
chain
on
last night.
barbecue,
Oh my goodness.
I
but
missed.
They
I
were off
missed.
the chain.
then we know for next year we're gonna be ready for next year because we had a good old time, and we just had to have some laughs and some fun
Yes.
because life is
Yes,
hard enough. Like really,
I
let's just
enjoyed.
have
I
fun.
enjoyed it the first.
Mm-hmm.
The I think I only missed 2 days, but man,
I
that
think
that thing was good.
I missed
It was
one. I
good.
think yeah, 1 or 2. That was it. I was there every day, and then
Yeah.
Thursday I took a
Yeah.
nap and I almost missed it. They had to wake me up. I'm like, okay, I needed a nap. I'm like, man. But it's been good. It's been good. We had a good old time. Everybody have a good
Yeah.
Christmas, Happy New Year. I might take next week off. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but we'll see. But just in case I'm off, have an excellent holiday, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you guys celebrate. Have a good time with family and friends. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself, and definitely be kind to others. All
Yes.
right.
Thank you for having
Take
me
care.
today,
Thank
Urban. I
you,
really
Absolutely.
appreciate
Urban.
it.
Thank you for
GC,
coming up.
African
Thank you,
J.
Urban.
Cheers.
All
Appreciate
you
you, sis.
all. Thank you all. Y'all have a good one. And I
Have
know
a
I
good
All
see
right.
one.
y'all
Be
in these
safe.
streets.
Yeah, you'll see me
Be
in the
safe.
streets.
All
Bye.
right. Bye
Peace.
bye.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Take care.